Hello.
And go.
We're gonna try that again. We're gonna go to the starting soon screen. Hello and welcome to Fable Table. You son of a bitch. Welcome to Fable Table, an actual play live stream focused on critical world building, collaborative storytelling, finding the fun in games, and interrupting your storyteller such that they're going to kill your character later this session. Joining me today for the final time for so many reasons, the cast of season.
It's over.
It's over. Yes, today we have the actual finale of The Wild Sea, the game by Felix Isaacs, a game by Felix Isaacs, who, by the way, has other lovely games, one of which has been recently kickstarted called oh my god, it's the cutest little thing. It uses the same rule set, but it's what if it was like a bunch of tiny little bugs and critters. It's absolutely adorable. Let me find the announcement about it.
Love you, Felix.
It's called, oh my gosh, there's too many channels in too many Discord servers. I can't keep track of it all. It's called Pico. Tiny Bugs, Big World. P-I-C-O. And I'm gonna pull it up on the stream here really quick. If my buttons will work.
Doesn't the Pico prefix mean giant?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Pico byte, 1,000 terabytes or whatever, or 1,000 exabytes or something.
What? Really?
Why is this not working?
I don't know. I expect everyone else on this to know more about data storage words than I do, so.
Pico is a role-playing game where you play as tiny bugs going on small adventures in a big world. The art for this is just lovely.
It's amazing.
They have a quick start guide you can download on Kickstarter. They have pre-gen characters. Look at this little guy. He's got like a needle as a sword, and he's got a Pico Cola bottle cap as a shield. Dude's going on adventures.
It's got a bit of a like Invader Zim kind of look to it.
Yes, it does. Pico Tendo. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, so Felix cute. Has other games and they're great. So you all last time on went to the depths of the ocean to the Takashi Terraforming Concern Research and Development Facility, and we're able to walk out with some stuff. What do we have on the ship sheet now that we didn't before?
Oh my gosh, let's take a look.
Great question.
Real question is, do we write it down?
Nope. Okay, y'all left with nothing. Good luck.
Nope. I took a cocoa bean sample from someone.
I've got
from Malia, yes.
Yeah.
Who is
and
your
I've got a moss sample?
Yes,
on my character sheet.
You have some chronovoric moss, which is just moss that is like exists, like sections of it exist at different times, and the things that touch it take on weird timey-wimey properties. Hell yeah.
I also crafted 3 CRE Saberine shells for the cannon that I have.
That's right.
Due to a rolling error. One is a dud, one is unrifled, so it has bad long-range accuracy, and one is my anchored piece of metal that my soul is attached to.
Oh my god. Oh, I forgot about that. That's terrifying.
Which is also glowing like a welding arc because I've got all the other iron bounds stuck in my soul.
Oh my god, please don't use it.
A little scary. Welcome to Fable Table, where Andy plays gambling with his soul.
Not to bury the lead, but Nick did promise he would kill my character today, so
yes. Am I a man of my word? How many episodes?
You hate flavor engineers so much.
All right. So, with that, is there any other important details from the last session that anyone wants to recap? I know, like, you all did fight Malia Winsau, who is Amber's rival, and is the former pilot of Anima, which is also known as a candidate, someone who pilots a divine.
Fucked us up real good.
Yeah, and you had kind of
Got our asses handed to us.
she really wanted vengeance, but then she just seemed resigned at the end
and, like,
of
sad.
the conflict. She was a little sad. She seemed to accept her defeat, and even suggested that you could be the candidate of Anima. What do you?
We wanted to.
You specifically, Amber, is I think who she was talking to. I don't think she was suggesting.
I don't feel good about that.
Why?
At all.
How come? What's going on?
Because it's not as though Anima is just a machine. It's not as though I control the will of this creature. Right? They have their own will.
They do.
And while some of what Malia was going through and what she felt was imparted into the divine's behavior, like, a lot of that was just Anima being what I would characterize as a total dick. So I don't know. I don't feel good about that. I don't think I want to be the pilot. But then like at the end of the episode, she was very much like, it could be you. You could take care of my little baby puppy boy. And it's like, no, I don't buy that shit for a minute. That might have been her. That might be her revenge. Trying to get me to, like, not going to gotch me. Not today. I don't know.
I do have down in my notes that we did collect a CRE Krezerin canister and a missile from the ballistics lab.
Okay.
Courtesy of Ollie.
Yeah, you bet. I don't remember that, but happy to help.
Ollie walked out of the back room holding like a canister.
Oh, that's right. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah, he's like, I found some stuff, guys.
Hey guys, I
We
know
were busy with other stuff at the moment.
I know you all were fighting the monster, but I've been doing the mission.
Yeah.
The ultimate turn is for Ollie to chastise us about not being focused.
It's true.
Perfect.
Okay.
Salt went for a little roll around in some moss, and his sword turned into a cat and ran away.
Yes. Yes, your cat sword to hit the chronovoric moss and shifted as well. Is that right?
Yeah. Like the sword literally folded itself into a cat shape and ran.
Yes.
But then it came back, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was like on the ship when we got back to the ship or something.
And now it's a cat claw, if I remember.
It's a Wolverine weapon. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's called a Teko.
Yeah, that's what
Teko Kagi. Yeah. Which is.
What would we do without you, Brian? Honestly.
I mean, you probably need to take better notes, but other than that, yeah, I figured you'd be okay.
Or just have to rewatch the episodes rather than just show up the next week and try and piece it together. All right. Well, so you all are still in the depths of the sea at the bottommost layer. And you need to get back up to the surface. You're all the way down in the the darkness under eaves, the roots of the sea, the bones of the old world. And you need to get back up to the topmost layer, the thrash. You had an relatively easy of enough time getting down here, but now the pressure has been weighing on you all and on the ship, not just a literal pressure, but also kind of a mental pressure of just being out of your natural element, of your natural living environment. It's stuffy down here. It's very still. It's very old and stuffy. And there are a lot of terrifying things in the darkness that you don't know what they are or what they can do. There has also been a storm approaching, and it is nearly upon you. So the captain is barking like, we're going. Hoist the anchor, get the tentaculary moving. We've got to go. And it looks as though some of the rickshaw slapped together shell that you all have protecting the interior of the ship from the pressure has been serving its purpose and is a little worse for wear. And with the storm approaching, y'all need to at least get out of the darkness under eaves as quickly as possible. Not to mention through the rest of the layers, the sink, the tangle, or the drown, the sink, and the tangle. So we're going to do a journey back up through the layers. So you're on the bottommost layer. You have 5 layers to move through, basically. So we'll move to the mechanics where you all take stations and we embark on the journey. Those are located on our rules sheet, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We have on the far right side here the journey section. So we have we have set our destination, which is anywhere on the surface. And up. We need up. The tentaculary will be able to continue to like climb up stuff as it has previously, and we need someone to be at the helm and someone to be on watch, and otherwise some optional ones are tend the engine, cartographize, engage, watch the weather. I think
watching the weather, like we already know what's coming.
Well,
yes, we do. Yeah,
no, maybe
well,
but the roll can affect how the weather changes. So otherwise, I get to roll and decide.
Oh no!
Once again, moving the ship out of danger is a job for a navigator, and I would highly suggest you allow me to take the helm.
Do it,
especially if we start getting damage to the ship.
No argument for me, buddy.
All right.
Okay, so you are at the helm.
Wheel and...
Okay, so when it comes to being at the helm, you have the option to cut a path and travel at a normal speed and make 1 level of progress, 1 box of progress, and the watch roll is made normally as a result. Or you can forge ahead, move swiftly through, but rough. It becomes rough because of your speed. You mark 2 progress boxes, but the watch roll is made basically at disadvantage. So what'll it be?
If there was ever a time to forge ahead and get ahead of this storm, it's right now.
Okay.
So Prickles will yell down into the tin can and say, "Put the engines on full, or just feed it something really yummy." And then he will take the wheel, and we're going to try and go fast.
Okay.
We want to get ahead of the storm before it encapsulates us and causes damage to our ship at a point where we can't afford it.
Okay.
Gotta go fast.
And is there anyone tending the engines at this point? Andy.
I will.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Can I not? Hang on 1 second. Some of the rules are getting cut off because of how I've got this set up. Let me move this over a bit. There we go. Okay, so your options are to tend the engine, which just allows you to gain focus on yourself to resolve the issues as they jump up, if there's an issue with the engine. Or you can overload the engine to increase impact on a roll, to impact speed. Or you can muffle the engines, giving advantage on basically any attempts to be quiet, especially like
Have we harvested from our
We're-
tree?
Yeah,
lately?
I was gonna ask, can I cook something
Okay.
for the engine real quick to overload it?
I
Yeah.
think there was some fruit y'all could harvest on the way out here. I don't know if we handled.
Well, we have the fruiting tree on board that we have not been diligently
Yeah.
saying that
I
we're
think on the
harvesting from.
journey out here, it was able to produce new fruit. However, since you've been down here, it has not. This is not the environment for it to grow.
Shit.
At least nothing that is going to result in something expected and what you want.
Okay, well, I still have a little
We
bit
could
of.
feed it some moss.
I still have some rooted fungus,
Oh God.
and
There was
And,
also
we have some-
specimens on the ship.
a
that you could
hornet. Yeah,
use.
there's the hornet-sized crabs or crab-sized
Yeah.
hornets. I'd like to make a little chili crab situation for the engine.
That sounds amazing.
Chili crabs. Tell me more.
It's just-
Engine honey.
Crab. You never had chili crab, Nick?
No.
It's like a Singaporean like crab sautéed in like chili garlic sauce.
Oh,
Sounds delicious.
it's like
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it does.
Sure. This looks great. Give it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So are you
So
are you
confident.
using the crabs that we're using? Where is that on the
The
sheet?
hornet-sized or crab-sized hornets, they're on the ship inventory cargo specimen crab-sized hornets.
Oh, okay.
We've had that
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Anything that can be eaten will be eaten.
Do you want
And hornets are a predator for bees, so I feel like they'll enjoy the poetic nature of eating what would be their predators normally. The
I
engine
love
will
this. I
Okay.
love this for the engine.
okay.
eat your enemies is what I'm saying. Okay,
Eat
like
your enemies.
Hannibal rules.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to give me a cook?
Um,
And we'll see what kind of
we're gonna
property we get out of this.
we're gonna hides cook.
Exploration, learning, lore. So
You're not using any salvage as specimens in this right now?
I'm using the rooted fungus, no salvage.
rooted.
Oh, actually, I have the futuristic rations. Those have some endless shelf life garlic powder in it that we're gonna use for this.
This is fair. Okay.
You know the YouTuber that eats like the old MRE rations?
Oof.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many pieces of resources are you using? The futuristic
I'm
rations.
using two. I'm using just two: the futuristic rations and one of the hornet-sized, crab-sized hornets.
Okay. Take one advantage then.
Okay, so 4 dice.
Yep. We need I should have made a scene that is just focusing on Andy's camera for the roll. Go for it. A 4, a 3, a 3, and a 2.
Level 3 and a 4.
Okay, so that is going to consume one of the crab-sized hornets or
And the futuristic rations.
futuristic rations, your choice.
Oh, I have to choose. How many hornets do we have?
That is a intentionally ambiguous amount for reasons
Then
like this
I will
where you roll
consume-
poorly.
Then I will consume one vague number of many vague hornets.
Okay, those are gone.
All of them?
Yeah.
Good thing we have other hornets
said-
left, and we didn't use.
He was
up
saying
all
one of
them.
either the crab-sized hornets or the futuristic rations.
The quantity of hornets
Oh.
has now been depleted as a result of
Got it.
your choice
Yeah,
of which
they're-
one
They're
is.
cooked.
Keep
Is-
the
Fair
rations.
enough.
They're
Yeah.
cooked.
You
We
just
still have the
put powder on the
rations. We just
rations.
use
Makes
the
sense, yeah.
seasoning from the rations.
Okay.
Yeah, just the ramen powder.
This is, however, successful. So what is the outcome that you're expecting from cooking these things together and feeding it to your ship?
That the engine will get a nice, nutritious, spicy hit. That the poetic justice of getting to consume one of their predators will give them cathartic swiftness.
Gotcha. I think we start to hear like a humming, like a buzzing and the ship gets like kind of like a pulsing wiggle, and it's like it begins
like
like
a wiggle of excitement.
it begins hustling a little bit.
Right.
There kind of becomes a rhythm, like a cadence to the steps that's a little more dancey, kind of how like bees have dances. And their thoraxes wiggle and pulse. Yeah. There's a little bit of a jovialness to the ship.
Taco Tuesday's got to bounce.
That's right. We'll
and our twist is that
Taco Tuesdays become Tango Tuesday.
we all spontaneously break out into dance while driving.
Yeah, we can't resist the rhythm. We
This is the dance episode and the finale.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
What manner of dance, though? There are so many. Who's breakdancing?
I think everyone's character has to have their own reaction to a haunting rhythm that we can all outline for the next hour. Go ahead, Salt. Get us started.
I like this. I think people can gain bonuses on rolls during the rest of their next roll on this journey. Because awesome. you are all vibing on
the spirit of the dance,
spirit of the Taco Tuesday. Okay, so we are goosing the engines, we are hustling, and things are looking good. So we need someone keeping watch.
Between Amber and Salt, I mean, can we both be on watch? Because, like I said, watching the weather. Personally, I don't want to put it up to chance that the weather situation solves itself if we roll a 6.
What if he's looking in one direction and I'm looking in the other? I don't know.
I don't think that. I think narratively that can be the case, but I don't think there will be a mechanical benefit.
Okay.
The rules for like weather and watch and all these journey actions is very like it's so tiny and tight that I don't think there's a benefit here.
Right, because I mean cartographizing, I don't think we're gonna really benefit from here.
Yeah.
So the only things we have left are on watch or watching the weather.
Yeah.
I'll watch the weather.
Okay.
And if you want to be on watch.
Okay.
Those two.
Give me a watch roll.
Okay.
So that is going to be, if I remember right,
it's just regular D6, right?
There was I thought I posted for you all the rules on this.
Too. 1 second.
It's on the rules sheet. Watch 6 is peace, 5 or 4 is order, 3, 2, or 1 is nature.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. Right?
Yep. And because you are goosing the engines or forging ahead, the watch roll, when the watch roll is made, the ship usually blunders into the encounter or avoids it with damage. Oh no, this is that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, make your roll.
I did. It's a 1.
It's a 1. Oh
yeah.
God.
We got
God.
this.
The good news is a 1 is the same as a 2 or a 3.
That is good news.
The good news is I'm driving. We got this.
Right on.
Oh boy. Okay, at the helm.
Nature, which is appropriate.
On watch. So I need to roll as well, I think.
Yeah, I think that's how we've been doing it.
So 1, you encounter something born of the wild unknown or feature of the sea. Where are my dice? I will secretly roll 1d6. Okay. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice for you. I'm so happy for you all. I'm so happy. One moment, please, while I look up what it is exactly.
Research break.
No, I got it.
Surprise Leviathan encounter.
Okay, if you go to the top sheet, I'm gonna post a picture of something.
What the heck is that?
This is called a higpog. Almost exclusively nocturnal, higpogs make the dangerous journey from their homes in the tangle and sink up to the topmost reaches of the Oh, I guess these are meant to be higher up. You know what? You all find these down below in the depths.
They can be wherever you need them to be.
Yeah, they're wherever I want them to be. You note that a lot of electricity from this storm that you all are moving through is arcing to a particular spot, a particular area, and you see light refracting from the backs of these medium-sized creatures, higpogs. Lightning is grounding itself into their backs, and these creatures seem unharmed from the distance that you view them. And it's probably for the best that they are nearby, because that means that lightning is being grounded from this storm towards them and not your ship, which has metal on it. And they all seem to be having a grand old time. They've developed these crystal formations on their back, and they store voltage in their backs and use it for sustenance.
Are they like batteries?
Or so that's what people believe. Possibly.
Little hedgehog battery?
Little hedgehog batteries.
Oh, man.
Gotta go fast.
Okay. So they are off in the distance, and they scatter a little bit. A couple of the more sheepish ones, ironically sheepish, ones scatter at the sight of your ship, but you're not terribly close, so the herd stays put. Okay. There is no major encounter here.
Ooh, I think we're just like looking out at the window. Like,
okay.
Look at that. Cute
All
little
right.
hedgehog.
And with that,
Dill is definitely intrigued by the idea of cooking electric steak.
Aww.
So with that, you all are going to rise quickly out of the darkness under eaves and even through the drown. Where the branches are thin, there is still very little light, and it is where the trunks of the iron roots are. So you successfully. Oh wait, Shannon, you were gonna roll the weather. Watch the weather.
That's right.
I'm so sorry.
I got you.
I assume Soliday, Salt, and Amber all are like, oh my god, we're going up, our ears are popping, and Prickles and I are like, what is that?
What does that mean?
I also got a 1.
What are ears?
That feels bad. I'm sorry. I've killed us all.
Okay. You rolled a 1 on weather.
I did. I'm so
Change
sorry.
for the worse.
Is that what that is? A change for the worse.
Yeah, 3, 2, or 1. Change for the worse.
The weather is about to turn against you for the next part of your journey.
Damn.
So
Keep going fast.
yeah, the storm.
Living storm or bizarre weather phenomenon is on the possibilities. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Ooh. I think living storm is something someone was really interested in, but I don't think we have
Okay.
time.
I think Living Storm is in our hell yes.
It is in the hell
That's
yes.
true.
Let me look at living storm really quick.
Hell yeah, Living Storm.
Can I make this a quick encounter?
I think it'd be super fast. It attacks our ship, we blow up, we all die. Boom.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Easy to work it into the episode.
What a groundbreaking anticlimax for this whole season with all these extra finales. It's just like, and you're all dead. Yeah, thanks for coming.
We all died. Our ship sank.
Yeah.
The end.
Season 2 is like Lost. We're all just like crash landed on the bottom of the forest.
I thought
That
I
would.
saw
Yeah.
living storm is like a named threat somewhere in the book. Oh, here we go.
It's a Leviathan.
Oh no, it's not.
Is it not?
Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah. Hang on, let me turn down this music.
Oh shit! I didn't have music turned on. Oh, because I gotta launch the game. Roll 20.
I don't hear the music.
Holy shit!
I don't hear the music either.
Oh, I just turned it down.
Okay.
There you go.
But I didn't even hear it beforehand.
Oh.
¿Dónde está mi música?
Maybe my volume was too low.
Maybe.
Oh, now I can hear it.
Why?
It's
That
almost
would be
over.
me.
There's like 15 seconds left. So,
Okay, living storms. Leviathan force of nature.
I see it. Yeah, I'm looking at this. Okay. So you all are moving, and the storm seems to be just kind of like hanging in the air. When suddenly, Salt, you notice out one of the portholes that are left in this metal plating you all have, that is still covered with like some sort of sealed glass or amber that you have the ability to see through. That part of the storm is moving very erratically. It's just all like kind of this mass of like a very dark cloud, that when lightning strikes, there's just no light passing through it, and you can see like this kind of amorphous blob hanging there. And you can see like some light glowing within it. You see a bit of that kind of cloudish fog, blacky body break off from the storm and begin hovering up towards the ship as it is making its ascent. You are being pursued by a living storm. Have you experienced living storms before, do you think? These are things that exist above and below.
Yeah. I think like they know about it, like the people in the satellite cities and stuff, they know about them. There has been documentation made, but I don't think I think it's still very rare.
Mm-hmm. Yes, these are one of the absolute least understood forces and living things with like on this entire planet. They have perhaps the most supernatural vibe to them. Nobody knows how a storm has come to life. Everyone can kind of understand like, oh yeah, there's biology, there's the
mutations and stuff.
Yeah, like thing like there's mammals, there's birds, there's reptiles, there's plants, and they all have some sort of like existence, some sort of biology, some sort of psyche. But like, how the hell is just this like, how is weather alive? It makes no sense to anyone. However, it is said that living storms do have a sort of sentience, and can even understand sailors. Usually they are ferocious, and excited, is for lack of a better word. And if a sailor can find a way to sate a storm, usually they can be communicated with, and you can part ways with a living storm, it is said.
What does a storm want?
Great question. If you want to know that, you might have to make some rolls.
Okay.
The other thing you should know about living storms is if you move fast enough, they can be outpaced. They do not move quickly.
Is Salt in the lens room to chart our speed?
Yeah.
We're going fast enough?
Salt like starts calling out to everyone. The storm is chasing us. Like it's actually chasing us. I don't know how else to describe it.
Excellent. Well, I don't have an answer for you.
What disrupts electricity? What disrupts the storm? I don't.
While the team works on disrupting the storm, I would like to try to reach out with my senses to try to feel the the electricity of the storm and then try to move away from it as fast as we possibly can. If they figure out a way to save it, great. If not, we'll run it.
Do you have how are you doing this, or do you have a feat or aspect related to this?
I do have an aspect called Born to Sail. You always know true north, even when in the depths, and ignore cut on movement-related actions caused by adverse seas or damage to your ship. And I have upgraded this aspect to say that conflicts are now rated as triumphs. I'm an expert in driving through tough seas and keeping us alive.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why I always want to be at the helm when we go down into the depths.
I will never argue with you for that. That is all you.
Oh, that's really interesting, because I was going to impose on you that the trees themselves become disruptive. They do not like effectively being tickled or scratched at by living storms. They damage the trees, and so the trees begin to sway and move a lot more for this next leg of the journey. But fortunately, you get to ignore this. That's fantastic. Good for you. So
I've been keeping the marks off of this one for this very reason.
Yeah.
Making sure that it was nice and healthy for the end game.
Very nice. So you are able to rise up through the darkness under eaves and the thrash. No, I'm getting mixed up again. The drown. And you continue your ascent, but the storm is still following you all. So we will go again.
I have a tenacious raindrop that I've been hanging on to forever.
Ooh.
Trying to think of like something it would be relevant for. I think this might be it. I think I might like try to offer it to sate the storm and just be like, hey, don't hurt us. I see you're losing a lot of moisture, so I've kept this raindrop around all this time. Maybe it'll help you. Maybe a gift.
This is going to be. So are you like? How are you communicating? Because you're within like an encapsulated ship.
Yeah.
So are you?
I might be like prepping to be able to like offer this or try to present it.
Okay.
I don't think I have the ability to where we are right now, but once the pressure lessens enough that I can like exit the shell or whatever.
Well, the pressure does decrease as you all ascend. So with every tick of the boxes of this journey, which you have ticked 2 now out of 5, you're doing better. So the pressure is lessened. And I'm not horribly worried about it at this point. So we'll see if the storm is able to draw close in the first place, but I like where this is headed.
Right.
So I guess we will return to those action decisions at each of your posts on the journey. So Brian, are you thinking you'll forge ahead again, or are you going to slow things down and tread more safely, knowing that we're
not slowing down if we're being pursued by a living storm?
Fair enough. Okay, I was going to impose a penalty on you because the storm is agitating the sea. But you would get to ignore that because you were born to sail. And ignore cut. So
you were germinated to sail.
That's exactly right. How about you, Andy? The engines are probably still benefiting from the meal you gave it. Are you just simply gonna tend the engines at this point, or are you gonna try and muffle them or overload them?
Well, we don't want to slow down, so I think I'm just Ollie and I are just like bopping and dancing with the engine and helping him keep its rhythm. Like we're the 3 of us together are syncopated. We're keeping the engine in step.
Okay.
Don't worry, guys, I got you. And he's just like dancing
Yeah.
his heart
Wait,
out.
I'm sorry. I think I missed a part of the overload the engine. You can either increase impact on a roll to take advantage of the ship's speed or mark an additional box on a journey. Is that what you were going for? An additional box on the journey?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. So
Just like full
okay.
speed ahead. Let's dance our way through.
Okay. So you all will move through the sink as well, where there are lots of wrecks lodged, large creatures, and it begins to thicken up again, the canopy. And this is usually where ships cannot like return from, but because you all have this submersible prepared vehicle and your tentaculary is being goosed, you are able to continue to push through. So you only have 2 more boxes to go. Are you going to overload the engines knowing that you are forging ahead?
Didn't we already, or we're doing it again?
For each leg of the journey, you have to make these decisions again.
I think I'm just tending it at this point.
Okay, so if there's a problem, you are ready to deal with it. Excellent.
Yeah, we're dancing, we're hanging out.
Okay. Travis, are you still on watch with Assault again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, we can just do the same things.
Sounds good.
Then
I would
Amber will watch
assume-
the weather.
Sounds good to me.
I would assume that Ollie pulled like a Casio drum machine out of some part of his body that had always been there, and he's like looping a beat together as we go.
Oh, I thought you meant like he was gonna drum and shout, row, row, row.
It's kind of like a modular synth like built into him as part of them too.
Yeah, fair. So let's go ahead and roll the watch roll then. And Shannon, are you gonna tend the watch weather again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's get those rolls.
I hope I don't know shit.
Okay, I rolled a 5, which is order. Nearby ship, outpost, survivor, needing rescue, wreck a ruin, a cache of cargo / supplies, or conspiracy. Interesting. I don't think we've had this one yet.
No.
It's either been like a 6 or less than a 3.
Pretty much.
Let's see, where is the weather page again?
Well, I mean, so like so it says hazardous encounter with a useful payoff. Like, I mean, we are going through like what is essentially like a shipyard graveyard, right? Like we're just passing through that
is
right
the
now.
layer you are passing through, yes.
So maybe we come across something that has some valuable swag on it or something. But, you know,
We're not
We're
stopping.
going to stop.
we're not stopping.
Can we
probably,
stop the storm chasing us?
Well, I had a thought about that too, right? So, well, I guess it depends on how I roll with weather. But things that break up storms, I was thinking like, you know, like whenever a storm front like goes like through a mountain pass or whatever, like the mountain breaks up the. So I mean, maybe the storm breaks up because of all of the ships. Yeah, exactly. But who the fuck knows? What do I know?
Sure, Nick will tell.
I'm no meteorologist.
Okay. Well, actually, you get to decide. While the player on watch explains their discovery or rolls to determine what the crew encounter. Oh, I'm sorry, you do roll. The Firefly also rolls to determine the level of potential threat. Okay, so you rolled order, an encounter with one of the various cultures living across the wild sea. There is here a Gao settlement.
Oh.
Yeah, let me find the image I'm imagining here, and I'll post a photo. But yeah, there is a uncharted Gao settlement here in this layer, kind of hidden from everything else. But there are these kind of like large, sporific, fungal structures on these various branches that you can see. There are lots of glowing lights that illuminate them, or like spores that are glowing in and of themselves. And an interesting place to make note of. You aren't too terribly close to it, but you can hear some alarms sounding off in the distance as they realize that there is a ship moving right past their city that was not expected.
And a storm chasing after
and
it.
a storm chasing you all.
We're just zipping on by.
You have heard of settlements like this. They are called Myconica. And I will post an image on the top sheet tab. And I will move our pig friend away.
Oh, awesome.
I think as we go by, Bill leans out a window and in the only phrase he knows in Old Hand, he says, "Nice mushroom."
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that because Old Hand is, I think, sign language.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because we're moving right by, and I'm just saying he leans out the window and he says, "Nice mushroom."
I think the Old Hand for nice mushroom is this.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Gotta have a hitchhiker thumb to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just pew, and they're like, love it.
Yeah. I think the more interesting version of this is you all actually, like, the tentaculary just kind of like walks through a street of one of these settlements, and you walk past a couple houses and there's just some horrified gal like looking out their windows of their homes.
You said alarm, so I assume you meant little car alarms, right?
There is a bell ringing, and what was that, Brian?
Little kid on a bike that just stops and stares at you as you drive by.
Perfect.
Yep. And
he was out delivering newspapers.
Yeah.
Yes,
the alarm
exactly.
just him going woo, like making noises with their mouth. Yeah.
And by delivering the news, you mean he goes around and just like squeezes his head and perfumes out some spores that communicates
Awesome.
a vibe
100%.
of how things are going today. And at this point, I think you have lost track of the living storm. You guys have goosed the engine and forged ahead twice. So I think that things are just moving along a little too quickly for a living storm.
Hey, we got a raid.
Yes,
because
hello.
we're raiding this town.
Hello, Raiders. Hi, Rumble.
Hey,
Hi,
Rumble.
Hey, Sydney. You're awake for the finale. I'll believe it when I see you commenting in 2 hours. Okay. So with that, you all make your way through the thrash, or the sink, the tangle, and the thrash, and the ship breaches up through the top of the canopy of trees, the top of the sea, the wild sea. And the tentaculary kind of like stumbles a little bit as some of the front leading tentacles are no longer like moving you all vertically up, and you kind of like, whoa, and lose or gain some air, and the tentaculary kind of like stabilizes and kind of kneels down a little bit as it's catching, and then lifts itself back up.
I'm imagining like a dog in like a play bow right now.
Yes. I think it's worth mentioning, and maybe the vibe along the way, especially through the really thick stuff, has been that the tangle and the thrash, especially just all the thick branches and vines and things, have just been like scratching at all of the paneling. And I think you all joined them together with Amber or Sap, right?
Yeah.
How do you think that has fared?
Maybe not so good. I think maybe Amber needs to go outside and like assess the hull a little bit and like check out the cracks and stuff, and maybe do a little TLC.
Sure.
I could see like just as we come out of the surface, like just in time, our little fuselage submarine attachment just like cracks and off.
Yeah. Does it fall out or fall in, you think? Like collapse and just drop onto the deck, or does it
a little bit of both? One, well, it falls
half
this
goes
way,
this
so
way.
some of it falls on the deck, and the other half like
Yeah.
falls off the side.
Yeah.
Like a poorly built house frame, it just sort of slides to the side and falls down.
Yeah.
But it
Okay.
is super lightweight,
That is
but it's very
true.
strong. So even if it falls, it's more, you know, like an inconvenience.
Yeah, I
guess.
think a lot of it clashes onto the deck. It's really loud. There's a couple pieces that fall off and just land right on the toe of the tentaculary limbs,
Ah.
and you hear the engine just like give a screech right in your face there, Dill, since you're right there with the engine.
No more dancing.
No more dancing.
It's murder on the dance floor.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So you've lost your shell, and it'll take some work to get it back up. And probably the worst part, Salt, is that not only do you make it to the surface where there is fresh air, but it is blinding. You all have gone from being in the darkness under eaves in pitch black with the occasional flash of a storm to bright, clear as day sun in your eyes.
So this shell like collapses, the sun hits Salt's face, and he like screams and just goes below deck. He just screams, he covers his eyes like ah, and he goes below deck.
That's right.
Poor Salt.
To remind us, you fear the coming dawn and crave the night. You have 2 marks of mire in right now.
Yeah, I am most mired.
I think Salt might be debilitated for the rest of the day.
There, I remembered something about your fight. After you landed on the moss, you got like a flower eye.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, the eye that was gone came back as a flower.
As a bloom. I love that.
Yeah, there's the once human character.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah,
I didn't look her up.
Her name is. You could ask Raleigh. I don't remember her name. Shoot.
Got like flower eye once human. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I've been Googling. Yeah, I don't remember this character's name, but she's crazy. She was like an experiment. I don't know. Anyway, yep, you've got a flower for an eye, and it's just out there.
So wait, does the flower need light? Is that how does it? You know, that's
Is it a flower or a butterfly?
Well, for this character, it is both. Butterflies are a really important symbol and icon in the game Once Human, but that is a flower in the shape of a butterfly for that character. Your flower, that is your eye, can be whatever you want it to be. I don't have anything in particular. Did anything happen to your mask?
Yeah, it has like a comet tail as the like meteorite like de-aged to a different like state.
Oh, it was glowing. It was. I remember. Yeah, is it still glowing?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's got like a comet's tail on it. So just as I move around, there's just like a trail of like
comet dust
light
behind you. Oh man. So how does it work with the flower for an eye? Is it like protruding out then, like I've suggested and like this character looks, or do you think it's more like tiny?
And I think it like grew out through the eye hole of the mask after you like put it on.
Oh,
after you put it back on.
Ooh, that's scary. Because what does it mean to take off your mask now? Yikes!
Gotta weed that eye out.
Sure, whatever that means. Okay.
I'm sorry. I got that one. That hit me just a little bit. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, fresh air hits the ship like a wave. And you all feel relief. You've been feeling the pressure lessen and lessen, but with the bright sky, at least for most of you, that is a welcome sight. And the huge gulps of fresh air you're able to bring in are just awesome. It's like you've been very slowly suffocating. You realize the whole time you've been down in the darkness under eaves and the drown. but now you're up here, and the captain offers to take over and bring you all to kind of like help figure out where you all are and bring you to a new settlement. She looks over at you, Prickles, and says, like, all right, we're back. We made it. Divines know we got out with by the skin of our teeth. So you all need to tell me, do you have a plan ready for how to deal with anima, or do we need to go have some drinks and sit in a bar somewhere and figure it out?
We have tools.
Might be worth it to sit and figure out what our plan of attack is going to be instead of just being like, we're here now. What do you want to
Maybe
do?
we shoot it with this.
Yeah. We'll try.
Amber, you maybe halfway through this journey kind of reconnected with the satellite system and are able to get back in contact with Iota and have some messages waiting for you, and are able to see where anima is at on the map once again.
Okay. Am I still texting her like sexy you up messages, or is it all business? I don't know.
You tell me.
Where the hell is Foxy Volpa is what I want to know.
Volpa is nowhere to be seen, but Iota assures you that her vital signs are strong and normal. She doesn't appear to be in any danger or hazard.
She'll be ready to be that trump card.
Yes. You all know I have Volpa in my back pocket as a little ex Deus Machina for you in this final encounter. I've told you.
Unless she's the new pilot of anima.
Ooh,
Andy might be calling me on the carpet. No, not doing that. Why don't we?
Yeah, I'd like to read those messages.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, how's it going down there? Y'all good? I can't see you.
Why aren't you responding?
Yeah, why aren't you responding to messages?
She didn't send you up like 6 times in a row.
No. I think Iota has responded positively, cordially to the flirting. Has not been put off by it, but also is in a committed relationship.
Where is she now? I don't see her around. I don't know. A
girlfriend's just another person on the planet that is lost and not in the way.
I like to think that there was
lonely.
I like to think that there was at some point just a fluke where it got signal for a split second, so it just appeared to Iota that the messages were read and just not replied to.
Oh yeah, that must have really frosted her cookies. She'd have been real mad about that. Anyway.
All right. Yeah, so she's just been checking in and worried. So
I'll send her some messages back and let her know, like, hey, we fought a ghost and killed it with moss. Got some cool cocoa bean samples, and we also have some really dangerous rockets and substances that we're planning on using to potentially kill anima again, the same way that I killed it the first time. So we'll see how it goes. Question mark. And then I'm going to send her an eggplant again and like a sploosh.
Sounds like a solid plan.
Hashtag do the same thing, expect different result this time.
Absolutely. One hundo. Keep it classy.
Is Dill cooking some sort of courgette? Some sort of
I have a question. We're talking about going to a bar to figure out our plan here.
Yeah.
Does the spice stained map that I have in my charts, does that lead us to a hidden cache of hooch and moonshine somewhere out here that like a wreck of a ship that's been turned into like a little speakeasy
oh my god, I love it so much.
Please, if you wanted to, yes.
I think so.
You're like, hey,
we need a
I like, hey, I know a bar that it's not really it's like a guy cave. It's a pirate cave that someone just left a bunch of alcohol in. It's like it's like their bro down pad, and I have it marked off here. They're not using it anymore.
Or the Spice Stain map is like a brochure, like a restaurant menu that gets passed out, and it's like, this is how you find us.
It's I think it's like the mailbox on top of Mailbox Peak out here in Washington. Like you can take stuff, but you're meant to put something in as well. So you're you can come to this cave and there's lots of good stuff, and maybe you put some money in the communal tip, jar or whatever.
Sure.
It's a take a booze, leave a booze.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm having like headcanon right now, like where when Dill, like, are there other pirates there? Like, are we gonna like interact with like other people there? Because like if Dill walks in, I'm imagining that he's like a celebrity, like when he goes in, and everybody's
I'm really interested in exploring that as an arc for my character. That'll be, I think, really cool.
Andy,
let's follow this.
I love that.
Roll me a d6.
I love that for you.
All right. Hang on a second. I gotta. I can't just summon.
And then the head cook comes back and says, "Dill, we could really use your help as a flavor engineer. If you could please just come back and tell us what we're doing wrong with this roast."
All right, 1d6.
1d6. If you roll what I rolled, there's pirates there.
Yep.
You rolled a 2, which is what I rolled. Okay.
3 more episodes.
All right. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, pirates.
Yay!
Hooch in cave. Hooch in cave.
Hooch in cave. Hooch in cave. So, Andy, this was your map, is that right?
Yes, the spice-stained map has been in my possession.
What are you picturing as the location and what this place looks like? Please describe it for us.
The map or the place we're going to?
The actual place you're going to.
Oh, I would say that you said that there's like places where the land pokes up, like mountaintops poke up above the trees, and they're very valuable.
And buildings,
so,
yes.
Yeah. So this would be a place where the mountain tops don't quite reach, but a ship happened to wreck just shallow enough to like sit right on the top of the sea. So it's got plant life growing through it, but it's still out in the sky. And it's stuck, and someone found it and turned it into a little bar. And so there's like a sort of marooned little, bar in the middle of the ocean.
Is there a band playing cantina music? That's the real question.
Is there a hurdy-gurdy player?
Yeah.
Is this...
Hang on a second. I'm getting a picture for you. There's a place I'm thinking of.
I love that.
So
just have this like ever-growing just dump of photos on the main tab of our game.
Nice.
Where are you gonna add this?
You can Google image search it if you want. I'll send so it's a place in the Dominican Republic called Cayo Levantado.
Cayo?
Cayo Levantado. If you search Cayo Levantado sandbar, you'll see it. It's like this like sandbar island that has like a couple of huts on it and nothing else in the middle of nowhere. They film like Bacardi rum commercials there.
Awesome.
Because it's literally just like huts on a sandbar in the middle of nothing.
I want to go there.
Oh, okay.
And so that's sort of the Wild Sea version of this is what I'm picturing. Like this sort of like just happened to be a sandbar. Someone happened to build a bar and made a little watering hole that ships can just sort of like should round up to in the shallows and hang out.
So this is out in the open. This is not like in a cave or anything.
Correct. It's
Okay.
maybe there's a cave, in the mountain beneath the ship where they store some of the hooch. That's where the fermentation happens. They're
Sure.
Cool dark place. Yep.
ongoing beer making process and whatnot. But
Yeah.
and I would say that the Spice Stain map is like originally a map that led to just this bit of shallows, and then over time people have made amends and notes on it to add information, including one that's like recommended what you order from the secret menu at this place, and
sure.
And a list of passwords to get into the bar as well.
Yeah. There's something a little odd about this place in that it is kind of like deep, or it is set into the jungle, and there is earth here, but it is shocking that it isn't being constantly taken over by the ever-growing sea. So there is something a little mysterious about this place, but you don't care. There's a lot of mysterious things out in the wild sea.
Their mother dough SCOBY is somehow Krezerin resistant. It's all of their fermented things are Krezerin resistant.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So you all are pulling up to this kind of bar around twilight. The sun is setting. It is a glorious sight. There's lots of reds and purples. Dark blues are appearing in the night sky. And the stars are beginning to peer out, or poke out. Some of the brightest ones anyway. And as you pull up to the dock of this island, which is mostly just like, it's not even a dock, it's like a bit of earth that has some wood planks nailed into it. And there's room for basically 2 ships. And there's already a ship here, so you all pull up onto the other side. Though this being tentaculary, your ship has no problem kind of anchoring anywhere it really wants, but it's still common to use the facilities that are provided. So you pull up and you walk up to out onto the deck and up towards this bar that is just kind of made out of wood. It's got some handcrafted stools, a handcrafted bar, and an area, a cover that shades all the inhabitants here. There are already a number of patrons up at the bar being helped by a Gao bartender. There is also a sort of like assistant, another Gao, or I'm sorry, did I say Gao?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I said Gao, and what I meant was a cactuar.
Ectus.
Ectus, yes, thank you. There are 2 Ectus owners.
Cactuar is the French version of.
Yes, thank you.
The French Ectus are
Yes.
Cactuar.
I'm just picturing a cactus person with a French mustache.
Yes.
Just like a very twirly mustache. So stupid. I love it.
And there on the very shaded side of the bar are a number of I am just spacing on words today. Cosmer. A number of people very covered so that there's very little skin, if any, showing for most of them. They're wearing long sleeves, pants, etc. They have their masks on, and they're sitting on the very well shaded side of the bar. There's probably 4 or 5 of them. We'll say 5.
Were these any of the Cosmer that we rescued from the shipwreck? No, these are unknown to us.
No,
okay.
These look like hardened pirate Cosmer or wild sailor Cosmer. Like they have fully adapted to living the life of a wild sailor.
Is it just the 4 of us walking up, or do our Cosmer red shirts that we had on the ship walk up with us as well.
I bet the captain's with you. I bet Ollie's with you. I bet there's some red shirts with you. There's probably a couple staying with the ship just to tidy some things up and stay with the ship, because that is something the captain ordered. But they many of the red shirts will be like swapping shifts with them. The ones that came out will swap, and everyone will have a chance to get a drink.
They'll have their shore leave.
Yes, to have their shore leave. Yeah. Hey. Are you out at this point, Salt, or are you waiting until nightfall?
If it's like if you can't see the sun anymore, he'll be out. If it takes a little bit of time for that yet, he'll wait. But you know, after sunset, you still have a lot of light in the sky. Like if the sun is like below the horizon,
I think we're at that point where the sun, at least here, because it is set a little low in the sea. Like there is a feeling of privacy here because the wild sea is at least a few feet up from the ground floor where this bar is. So yeah, I think you'd feel comfortable leaving.
Okay. Yeah.
And the Cosmer will greet you all as you approach the bar. And as is expected, they will pay for the first drink that is ordered by the captain of the next ship to arrive at this bar. Andy, do you have a name for this bar?
Fuck, I should have come up with a clever one.
I should have too.
Give me some time. Keep going through the scene. I'll come up with it when the time's right.
Okay. So there is the expectation that a captain, upon leaving the bar, will leave, or will order a drink for the next captain to arrive. The next captain's first drink.
It's called the Dirty Straw.
The Dirty Straw. I love it.
Perfect.
So the captain of these Cosmer, seeing that the next captain to arrive has gotten here already, will order a drink for Captain Soliday. And they order their special, the Dirty Straw. And Captain
famous for it.
Captain Soliday will tip her hat and will sit opposite them. It is a big enough bar that, speaking quietly, both groups can expect some privacy from one another. And there's just some like nods from the masked figures and waves, and they leave you all alone.
Yeah, and Salt will like extend a like. I imagine the Cosmer have like a customary greeting. I can't think of what that would look like. I was trying to think of something clever.
It'd be just like a cool secret handshake.
Yeah, the spot.
Live long and prosper.
Something in that line, yeah.
May the stars guide you.
Yeah, I love it.
There
Perfect. Yeah.
Only if you dance around in a circle.
Twinkle, 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 little star. All right.
That's so bad. Okay.
Okay. And then you all are able to buckle down and start to discuss your plans to take on Anima.
Did we see where Anima was when we came up from the surface? It was
yes.
question, but never mentioned.
Anima has returned to their good old hunting grounds, the Fox Lofts, in full effect. They have not been terrorizing. They've been mostly around the spearing fens, honestly. And you can see on the map that there are a lot of ships in the spearing fens that have all come together. Like normally the spearing fens, at least what you saw from the beginning, there's lots of these small little groups of ships or one-off ships just moving around, doing their thing. Many of those ships have come together in large convoys now. Basically no one is going around the spearing fens alone at this point. And Anima is migrating north, and is actually not risking taking on any of these large fleets. I think the kind of speedy replay version of Anima's Path has like been on approach to some ships and then left them alone. Like too many ships. Don't want to deal with that. And is migrating north back up towards Ladle's Rest, that area.
Ah, shit. Okay.
Well, with that information, I think it's clear that if we travel in a large pack, it won't get anywhere near us. But if we travel by ourselves, we'll become the target.
Yeah.
And then we become the bait. The question is, where do we encounter it and how do we deal with it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, is the plan not... I mean, isn't the plan to be bait? To draw it to us so that we can have this encounter?
Yes, but how do we plan on dealing with Anima?
That's a great question. So I know that we have... Did we not... We got like... We have the Krezerin. We got like an old defunct rocket launcher. I don't know if it actually still functions. I know that we have some grenades that Dill was able to create. Please don't launch your soul. Please don't do that. And then we've also got like... hey, okay. Oh, hang on. We also have another piece of anima on our ship that we could use as a lure, since it's trying to gather other pieces of itself, like back to it. So we could set that piece of anima somewhere away from us to lure it to that piece.
Yeah, in a targeted area.
Exactly.
So
what if we attach the missile and the Krezerin to the piece of anima?
That's a great idea.
So that it collects the piece and then collects the explosive with it. And then
instead of launching a missile at it, we make it a bomb.
But like, how do we set that bomb off?
Eats.
How do we ensure that that bomb goes boom?
I don't know how to make bombs, but you can set it so the switch goes off when it's shoot or something, or we can set it to a timer.
A timer is good.
Remote detonation.
Do we have? I don't know that we have the technology for remote detonation. How do we?
Not to Armageddon this question, but I did say when we rationalized sacrificing Ollie, 8 years ago when we started this, that I was comfortable with it because serving a function is all Ironbound sometimes do. So I think Dill would be very happy to just Bruce Willis this and hang out, but.
But it's not just you.
Can you explain?
No, we would need to find a safe place for the other souls.
Yeah.
That would be a several episode arc, I think.
I agree. I think we need 5 more episodes to at least.
I was waiting for you to say they would be happy to sacrifice Ollie and have him hold on to the bomb.
He would still, if Ollie chose it. Different Ollie chose it.
We did bring him along to kill him, to be perfectly fair.
Back when we rescued him so that we could kill him on our own terms.
Yeah, nobody kills Ollie but us, God damn it.
That's right. I think I have a way to rescue the souls.
Oh.
If that is your choice.
I mean, if we can't make a remote thing, that feels like what needs to happen, and
Ooh.
happy to help out.
Possibly a way to even rescue your soul.
Hang on a minute.
Ooh.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I have in my possession a gold-winged bee.
Okay.
So I take that, like, since there's no description of it, I take that to mean that it is like a mechanical bee that we could use to
Like
remote detonate. That it can be programmed with one simple function, and we can remote detonate the bomb, and nobody has to die except for Ollie when we decide.
Yeah. I second. I second this. Technology exists in this world.
Okay, thank you.
I wonder. I wonder. We do have a remote communication device, and I wonder if we couldn't ask like IOTA to send a signal to the data pad to trigger something like.
That seems like a much more intelligent and predictable outcome.
If we wire the data pad to something and then just say IOTA when the time, we give her a countdown and then we just start.
I like that.
IOTA, send an eggplant emoji to trigger the bomb.
Perfect. I'm super into this idea, like so much.
She gets to send one sext, and it's the one that saves the world.
Yes, thank you. Exactly.
If it saves the world, I can do this.
Thank you, IOTA.
All right, so now we have our way.
But think about what will be written in the history books. Can it not be something more stoic?
Man,
we'll think of something.
The pictures write history.
We'll think of something.
The splooge emoji that saved the planet feels like it has a nice ring to it, you know.
I love that. Absolutely. It needs to be something suitably phallic, or a peach emoji.
Mushroom.
We don't a mushroom. We don't discriminate here. We like all produce.
Nice mushroom.
Stop.
Very well. Just tell me what I need to send and I'll send it.
Right, so we have our plan for taking it out. Now we got to find a way to lure it in.
Well, I don't want to sacrifice Dill, but we know that it is attracted to the souls of other Ironbound, and Dill is what's the word? Is charnel like a charnel house? Like of just like other like
sure, I have a presence on the wavelength of those things because he's so full of souls.
Yeah, exactly. So like
he's
if there was
animated.
Hey. I love that.
Well,
why do you all think I chose the name Anima for a
of course.
creature, a divine with this power?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yep. Okay. So
we could if we're gonna use the piece of anima as bait, how big is it? It's carryable by one person, right?
It's very heavy. It's like
think like a
I was thinking it was smaller for some reason.
A small boulder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like one person could roll it around, but it's possible if you just push it off the ship into the sea, it would just fall.
Yeah.
Potentially a ways. Which might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Do we have shit. This is so do we have access to like the little dude who's like the male guy who's like the wave skimmer or whatever?
No.
Shit.
Yeah, that was.
We should have made contact.
His name is. Where is he? Where's the young boy? Sherman. His name is Sherman, and he is a contact of Captain Soliday.
Ooh. Can we use Soliday to try and get a message to other Ironbound?
Other
What purpose?
Ironbound.
Or Anchored, so that we can try to lure Anima to us? Because it seems to be that that's what Anima is seeking.
Well, it sounds like from what you've all been discussing, just being a lonesome ship will be enough.
Yeah.
If
I don't
it's-
want there to be. Well,
Did we show up to this bar with a reputation, like to the other people there? Like, do they know us as like
they know us.
this is the crew that saddled Torval Tower in a nuclear winter? Like are we?
Fuck
that's
those guys. I stand by that choice.
that's a
Are
great
we-
question.
Are we city eaters like to these people? I just wonder if we have any clout or reputation.
I mean, if people
you
Good or
have
bad.
been there
You
and they
all
know
are-
what they were up to,
You all
then-
have reputation with one faction, and that is the Cosmerius. You are respected by them.
right on.
Okay, so
Word hasn't gotten
since
around
our
about
fuckery-
the tower thing
Torval
yet,
Tower.
maybe.
Okay, cool.
They had
It's
it
not
coming.
out.
Andy, roll me a d6.
Oh fuck.
I rolled 2 die,
Fun.
and if you match either of them, you will gain that level of reputation.
This one?
Just 1 die. And I
Okay.
rolled a 1 and a 6.
Oh,
Five.
fuck.
5.
You rolled a 5. You have no reputation
Damn.
with these sailors.
At least after the first drink. But after the 9th drink, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, you
Tonight's the
remember...
night we make that reputation.
Hey, Andy, what was the name of that one Pirates of the Caribbean? Oh, yeah, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Dead cities share no reputation.
We sure do.
That's fair.
Not.
They better not.
So go ahead,
sorry.
Andy.
No, please.
So we take the ship in to a location that we choose. Amber works on connecting the device and the bomb to the piece of anima. I drive the ship in, and I'm ready to drive and pull people out. Salt waits in one of the tethered kite sails,
Oh,
as he is skilled at using them and prepares to go in and save Dill, who goes to the piece of anima and finds a way to use the souls that are inside him to project as a beacon and draw anima in. And then when it takes the bait, Salt pulls Dill out, we haul ass in the other direction, and then send word to Iota.
okay.
Yeah,
Are we getting
remarkable.
the, like...
How do we communicate with Iota when we're leaving the data pad there, though?
We let her
I thought
know that we're there and Anima's
Yeah.
on its way and give her a countdown.
She can.
That's what I'm
she
saying.
can
We have to
look.
give ourselves a countdown. We need it. She has to have a time, otherwise. we
Yeah,
have no
does-
way to-
does
You-
she
you-
not see?
You can do a video call. Yes.
But
So she
we
can...
have to leave the data pad with our bomb, don't we?
Right, but she
Yeah.
can
Yeah, you
then
just
watch.
Set it to record. Yeah. Watch
She
for
can watch us
when.
fly away from the fucking.
Watch us fly away, and then watch for the giant anima
To be
thing
consumed.
to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look for the blue
Okay.
glow.
Yeah. So this would have to be done at night too. One, because Salt can't be out during the day and
That's right.
he needs to have
Now Salt feels bad.
No, this is
No,
good though,
Salt
because
is
if it's
fine.
at
More
night,
useful to us.
no, it's better if it's at night because we can see the glow from Anima coming from below. It
I
gives
feel
us like
I feel
even
like
more.
every time we've heard of anima attacking, it attacks at night as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this works to our advantage.
Okay.
Love it.
It's almost like
Dealing at night is dangerous, though.
you are using the moment that a hunter attacks its prey to attack it. Like a hunter, Andy. Like a hunter.
A hunter and a hunter.
Like
Some
a
sort of
like
hunter
a
squared
hunter
situation?
like a hunter of hunters. Like a hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And unbelievable. Okay. Are we?
I did mention Hannibal already, that's the whole theme of that show. So
it has the properties of both rubber and gum.
It has bungee gum has the properties of both rubber and gum. You see,
Get out.
I have a sticker that I'm saving it for the perfect spot. Anyway, are we getting the like Andy Sorkin, like Ocean's 11, like cut angles of like picture in frame with picture in frame and sliding picture in frame as y'all are like narrating the plan of you all like,
except it's just different. It's all just different camera angles of us like carving the plan into the table or whatever, and then
drinking
it's like
drinks,
Drinking a lot of drinks, Perfect.
And then it's the bartender getting pissed off that we just carved into his perfectly nice table.
Yeah.
The Who style. Wait, what was the name that you said, Nick?
Did I say Andy Sorkin?
Aaron Sorkin? Do you mean Steven Soderbergh? Who directed Ocean's 11? Steven Soderbergh was
I'm getting
Ocean's 11.
Oh yeah, I'm getting them mixed up. I'm sorry.
Aaron Sorkin is West Wing, Social Network.
Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say something.
I got very mixed up there. Thank you, Andy. This is why you're on the show.
That's okay. I like that there might be an Andy Sorkin out there who's like a budget version of Aaron Sorkin who is directing the movie of this heist. Like,
yeah. Okay. So you all
Thanks,
navigate
Andy.
to the location of your choice. Amber is rigging up the the data pad to the piece of anima.
With Iota's help.
With Iota's
obviously,
help.
this is not something that she's not. I mean, she's somewhat tech savvy, but I think that this is not something that she can do on her own.
Yeah. Salt is like getting his harness all set and making sure his equipment for the kite sail situation is good. I'm gonna roll a d6. The wind isn't great, but it'll do.
Okay.
For kite sailing. And then Prickles, what, you're like at the helm, you're navigating, you're checking in with Dill on being ready to hit the engines as fast as fuckboy as you can at a moment's notice.
Well, I imagine with a large explosion, there might be something for me to do on the way out of this to make sure that we don't break apart after this bomb goes off.
Possibly. There is only one piece to this plan that I see being of concern.
Okay.
Amber.
Uh-oh. Shit. What did I do? What did Amber do?
You are hooking up the data pad to the piece of anima. I'm going to need a roll from you.
Fuck me. All right.
What
do I got?
Can you give me a rattle? A skill of mending, maintenance, and adaptation.
So 2?
This is also going to be probably a Tides rattle or a Sharps, which you don't have. So I'm telling you Tides is probably the best. As you're just trying to like hook this thing up and make sure it's hooked up nice and neat. Take a cut of 1.
Okay. So is it 3? Because there's
it's 3
2
dice
in
and a cut of 1.
And cut of 1. Please don't suck. Okay. I got a 6, a 4, and a 3.
Okay, a 4. So you are able to hook this up. However, there are signs that the piece of anima is adapting and integrating the data pad into itself slowly.
I hate that so much.
Thereby potentially changing the function of the data pad. So as soon as you notice this, you pull the data pad away to protect it. And Iota replies with like, well, we could wait until the last possible second. It looks like this is going to work. The other option is that golden winged bee. That is so low tech. Like, you know those toys, that the wind up toys that have like the feet that kind of like
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
It's
monkey with a
very
symbol.
low tech.
That's basically what the golden winged bee is. It's just like a toy that flaps these golden wings.
The clockwork owl from Clash of the Titans.
Yes, precisely.
Exactly.
But
so I imagine that it still has a stinger, and it can use the stinger to push a button if it needs to. But I don't feel confident in it.
Yeah, or you can just jerry rig some sort of like once the bee stops moving, the canister detonates or something. Like, it basically, if you have a mechanical solution, it is far more reliable than anything with electronics, because Anima works so much more quickly at basically hacking software and activating electronics than it does at manipulating mechanisms, which it can do just a lot more slowly.
Iota's whole thing isn't her whole tech Anima resistant because of what they are and who they do, what they do and who they are?
Not completely, no.
Oh, damn.
That's why it's such a threat.
Yes.
So do we need to ask Iota to run like a diagnostic on the pad to make sure that, like, I don't know, to see if there's
is it a moot point because it's a prohibitive risk, Nick?
Right.
I'm not saying it's prohibitive. I'm just saying at some point there will be a role if you choose to go forward with the data pad. Like, there's just different risks. Like, the data pad is like, the longer you wait, if Anima doesn't take the bait, you have to detonate, because the piece of Anima will take over the data pad at some point. And if the you know, if Anima hasn't taken the bait by that point, you won't be able to detonate. Whereas with the Goldwing bee, it's a fixed period of time.
So can we?
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Can we? So I also have a Polycaster radio.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Oh, okay. Can we rig the radio up to? I don't know anything about bomb making.
Can I suggest an alternative?
Yes, please.
If we need to wait to trigger the mechanical bee or whatever, because like it could be more reliable, but needs someone to like turn its little key to get it started or whatever. How long is the tethered kite sail rope? And could you just leave Dill on the bait ship tethered to the other one, ready to like get fucking torn off, and ready to start the little mechanical bee? We have rig ropes, we got a crane system, we got tethered kites. Like, can we daisy chain them together and make like a 2 mile long water ski tether situation?
Now we're thinking like Danny Ocean, baby.
Yeah, dude, I want to see you water ski across the trees. That's just amazing. Even if it fails, it might be worth trying, just because I want to see it.
Just face plants immediately.
I was going to say, if anyone should do that,
that's why Assault will be out there.
Oh yeah, who can walk on the clouds?
I have one in wave walk.
I have 3 in wave walk, but I also need to drive the ship.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Shit.
How dare you?
I'm also comfortable with the failure of the tether. So Ollie, maybe Nick rolls for Ollie's choice to join me or not. You know, I don't know.
Okay. So while you all are imbibing, because we are kind of like mixing past, present, and future in this montage, I would like everyone who has a tick in mire to remove 1 tick in mire.
Oh.
I think that the only exception is Prickles, who has been managing his mire well.
I just haven't done anything to reduce it.
Oh, wait, no. The world continuously works against us. You have 1 mark.
All right, I'll take the mark away.
Never mind. I didn't see that note over there.
Nick, can I ask for your counsel on this.
My judgment, yes.
Yeah. So with all the souls on board, I think Vision
Wait,
like
on
one
board
of
the
these,
ship or you?
no, on board Dill, like
Oh,
I feel like one of these, your body cracks and splits or visions of your past death are difficult to vanish. Like one of those has to stay.
of
Part of me was
course.
thinking like visions of your past death stays full as long as Dill has all these souls because he's just attached to all these like people who are tethered to life through him.
Yes, and who all have
So
trauma around losing their bodies recently.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
body cracks maybe is the one that gets cleared, but
Sure.
but visions of your past death is like full forever as long as he's got all the souls on board.
Well, especially because one of your like big weapons that you were planning on using involved these shells that you've made, and wasn't it your cannon that was cracking most recently?
No,
Or was
I don't have any cracks on the cannon, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe, I don't know.
I thought you got that mire right around the time you were firing your cannon, and we kind of narratively
I remember,
tied them together.
I feel like I remember a conversation about like the cannon looked like it was stressed or something from this.
Yeah. So I think taking some time working on like de-stressing the metal of your cannon, or like maybe
give the cannon a nice massage.
Maybe Ollie has some techniques for de-stressing like
metal
or reinforced
iron bound material that is tethered to a soul, without disturbing the soul, or harming the soul. So yeah, he can help with that alongside the drinking and soothing yourself.
I was gonna say, is there anyone in the bar who is like looks like a mechanic or someone who has like oil on their hands and sleeves, and Bill can just stumble up to them and be like, "Can you fix my cannon?" I don't know if he's even drunk. I'm not sure if he'd get drunk, but
I feel like, is that not something that I could help Jill with?
Oh, maybe. I was just trying to expand the story and add more episodes to this, but you know.
Yeah, never mind. I can't do that.
I'll stop, Nick. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just being performative. Okay, so
while we're real quick, while we're unchecking things, the saber like turned into the Tekokagi. I've got it like marked like 4 and it's red. What's going on with that? Like
so here is what because we were dealing with the chronovoric moss, basically anything could have happened. Do you want it to be permanently a Tekokagi, or do you want it to be a Tekokagi until the cat recovers from the trauma of being touched by chronovoric moss?
I think the transformation was like the cat spirit was taking like it's making it more its own. So I think it should stay
as the Tekokagi now.
Yeah,
permanently. Great. You can go ahead and uncheck these boxes.
Okay.
You have a Tekokagi now. Your cat is new.
At one point, the Arachniata Grande crawls out from like on top of my head and has like a little thimble of beer that she's drinking because she wants to be part of the plan. So.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Is she jealous that there's a mechanical bug that's getting potentially a much more important role than she is?
Yeah, I think she's like with her two front, like her little her front thorax, like just yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Goes her ponytail back.
Salt, did you have anything you wanted to do at nighttime at the bar or on the journey towards Anima, who's not far off? Like it's the same night.
Oh boy.
Okay.
It seems like that y'all are gonna just get this done.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for like, is tonight the night? And once he hears that, he's going to like when we're all kind of retiring from the bar, he's going to wander off to a quiet spot. And he's got his cloak of stolen stars, so he can he's not worried about falling through the wild sea or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to do some constellation reading. This is an aspect that I took during our last advancement called a reading of passage. When you have the chance to read the stars, consume a whisper to predict a future encounter. You gain 1d6 advantage on any interaction with the subject of the prediction. And I'm going to consume the whisper, the fox, and the hounda to do this. I think after he learned the nature of Iota and her people, how they used beacons and drones to feed messages to the Cosmer, making them believe that they're reading signs and scars or manipulating the signs, basically. Once he learned of that, I think he learned which ones were not real, and he can see the true meaning, the true messages in the stars.
Oh, I like that a lot. You see predicted in the stars, the real stars, the true and authentic stars, a prediction of great heroism, and triumph. Like you see a moment of heroism and triumph, wrought with tragedy. You see the action, the tale, the foreshadowing of a hero or some sort of heroic act, and the fall of that hero.
He thinks to himself, we all accepted this as a possibility, but I believe we're going to win this night.
Specifically, you see the fox risking itself.
I'll when I rejoin with the others, I'll kind of convey. It's written in the stars. I think we're going to accomplish what we set out to do. Of course, it'll be at a cost. Don't know what the cost will be, but I think we all expected that. Be careful out there.
Okay.
Gone too far to go back now.
Yeah.
All right. So it is well into the night when you all reach your chosen destination to set your trap. You know that Anima is near and is in the vicinity, and has caught whiff of the piece of Anima, but you're far enough away to make your preparations. So let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. You are rigging up a trigger with the Polycaster radio. That
I think we were going to use the Goldwing Bee because
oh yes, the Goldwing Bee with basically something attached to it. So when it stops, your missile will detonate.
Yep, it'll like Home Alone style, like walk across a shelf and hit a button, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
little
this canister or missile will detonate, releasing CRE Saberine to rip apart Anima, this Anima, the beast piece of Anima. Because again, this is just one piece of Anima. This is not the only one out here.
Right.
But this is the one that's been terrorizing the Foxlofts.
We're hoping it will trigger rapid growth of the the trees and the plants and the verdancy, and tear apart Anima as it did the first time, and take the parts far, far away from one another.
Yeah.
Is the hope.
Okay, and the person that will be releasing the gold-winged bee, like winding it up and letting it walk across and press the button, that is going to be Dill or Salt, who is attached to the harness. This is the piece I guess I'm not clear on.
Dill is comfortable with the risk, but there are people who can wave walk. Although I will say that like the kite sail should also be able to fly theoretically, so it might not.
Right.
Water ski was just one word.
Prepare for redundancy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Then
prepare redundancy, right?
Like
we'll both be out there in case something goes wrong. We have two out there.
Really good idea.
Okay, so
if something goes wrong, there's two of us that can react to try to fix it, rather than just one person being on their own.
So Dill's on the bait,
and Dill's
Salt be up above.
Okay, so you are hooked up to the ship, Dill.
Correct.
And Salt is flying freely above with the kite sail not harnessed, or both are harnessed?
You tethered to the ship, Salt?
I think you should be tethered to the ship, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Both are tethered.
Okay. Gotcha.
We've got all of our ropes daisy chained together to make these to let the Taco Tuesday sit as far away as possible.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Prickles at the helm.
Okay.
And I think
Amber on the harpoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
and I
in
think we
case.
ask the chef at the Dirty Straw to make some meals for the engine that the engine will like.
That's a great idea.
Okay. Excellent. So
poured a couple of shots too.
Yeah.
It is an alcoholic. We know this.
Liquid courage.
Okay.
It's the casserole with a whiskey bash.
Perfect.
Let's take a quick 2-minute break, and then we'll be right back with this last encounter with Anima. Woo!
Let's
Or
do
5
it.
more episodes. We don't know yet.
Yes.
We are back. The plan is in motion. The missile.
The stars are right.
The stars are aligned. The
Hills are alive.
Oh God, that's scary. Actually,
The hills advise.
The hills are alive with the sound of music, not the hills have eyes.
Maybe it's a little of both.
Both are terrifying in this setting. Because they're both possible. So the missile is set. We have Dill near the missile, ready to release the golden winged bee toy. We have Salt circling ahead, somehow managing to maintain altitude.
The cloak of stolen stars.
That's right.
I think I can just fly around. I think I'm just like tethered with a rope, because even if I run out of like energy or strength or whatever, I've got the deployable.
Right. Yeah.
Also, Nick, put some respect on our potentially world-altering trigger system. Okay, it's not a toy.
Yeah. Thank you. The gold winged bee. Damn it.
Tick. And
years into the future, people are going to speak of quality by saying it's a gold wing.
It's a gold wing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a gold wing. Absolutely.
Okay.
Bee's Knees is going to make a big comeback, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
So, in the distance from your high perch, Salt, you can see it. You've seen it before, and it fills you with a little bit of dread. But you feel confident in the plan that you and your crew have concocted. There it is, shining, shimmering through the canopy of the vines and the branches and the leaves, a pale blue light glowing and approaching.
I send the message.
You send the message. You
Prepare
signal.
yourselves.
You signal. And then Dill, presumably, you start the timer when the timing looks right.
Yeah. I start the timer. I'm ready to release it when the cable gets taut, I guess.
Okay. And
I
then
mean, do we all speak signal? Just real quick, does everyone have at least
Yes.
a 1 in signal?
I have
I
two in
do it
signaling.
signaling.
hell
Okay,
yeah.
so I think we can confidently blink information at each other across the nighttime landscape.
I think this is where a flare gun comes in handy because you can just shoot a flare as the signal.
Dill is still his soul, which is now in a bullet, is still like a welding arc bright flame, isn't it? So
It's true. Yes, it is.
Okay. So he can just like cover it.
Oh, I
in the
like
dark.
that. You're like a
Yeah.
lighthouse.
Oh, like a lantern.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. So
Ready. What the fuck am I doing?
And then it sounds like Prickles, you receive the signal that it's go time. So you send the signal to a red shirt to goose the engine or just to go?
I mean, we've got a tin can that leads down to the basement. So yeah, I give the signal down.
We got the cannon shoestring system.
What's up, Captain? I mean, Prickles.
Time to go, sir. Goose the engine.
All right, feeding
Back
the
set.
engine. Feeding the engine a goose. You got it.
Then I signal back a goose. I giggle a little bit, and then I signal back, go, go, go.
All right.
Okay.
The deal.
The plan
And-
Festive.
is in motion.
Holiday
Amber,
goose.
Yes.
Amber is on the data pad, and she is checking in with Iota to see when the package has been captured, and she's going to use her whisper at that point also.
Ooh, you're using
Let's
the
see.
whisper here.
Yes, once the piece of anima and the rocket have been captured.
Okay. Ooh, I'm
This is
excited
all
to hear
happening simultaneously. Dill and Salt are gonna like away. We're checking
Okay.
with Iota to see when it's been captured. So yeah.
Okay. Dill releases the very sophisticated timing
Thank you.
device.
Goddamn right. You're goddamn right it is.
Flat, 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 flat. Walk, 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 walk.
And then
And
it turns
Stops
around
and then it like
it's
pulses his
fine.
finger a couple of times, and then it walks again.
Nick, you're talking shit, but if I gave you a year in a workshop, I defy you to make a complex automata.
I fail. I choose
Some
to fail.
respect on our trigger system.
You know, there's just been so much fancy tech we've played around with this season, and I'm just
Nick's
amused.
triggering system is working on Andy right now. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's working.
No, I mean, honestly, like this system is about like find resources that are just whatever the fuck you can find and
Yeah.
make use of, and you've done it.
Mhm.
So like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and I just find it amusing.
Home Alone style.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
This is our house. We have to defend it.
Somewhere out there, Richard Dean Anderson is giving a nod.
Thank you, MacGyver.
Thank you, MacGyver. So you receive the signal that he from below that Dill has given that the timer in motion. So Salt, are you like diving down to pick him up, or are you both just getting yanked in your own
I'm there in
respective
case
ways?
something goes wrong.
Okay.
Like if Dill goes to get yanked and the rope breaks or whatever, I'm there as a backup. I'm focused on staying where Dill is, like nearby to help out.
Okay.
I'm using my last box of manifold journeyman to use my sensate style. Use one of my other souls to water ski effectively until I can get airborne.
Oh, because wait, get airborne. Do you also have a kite sail?
I got the.
He's got
we
the
have
kite sail.
two.
I'm just
Got a
like
kite.
flying around.
Yeah.
Oh, the ship's kite sail, not the personal.
Yeah, it says there's tethered kites and then tethered kite sail are two different things on our thing. So I assume one of those ropes is just being used for salt, and I'm on the actual sail. But we got to get up to speed. So I'm sure starting out, he might just be sort of like bouncing across the trees.
Yeah, no shit. This is going.
I hit retract on the rope, and
yeah. So the engines get goosed. The ship takes off in a lurch. You and Salt is used to this because Salt has been in the air when this has happened several times now and probably practiced. You not so much. You just get yanked across plants.
Wile E. Coyote style.
Very Wile E. Coyote style. So this is going to be oh boy. 10. Well,
it's definitely
let me look
an
at
iron flourish.
I don't think this is flourish. This is not about rhythm or performance.
Oh, iron brace? Iron
skill of defense, hard-headedness, and immobility. So yeah, this is like you like locking your knees and holding your legs straight.
I request that I use one of my aspects to give him an.
What aspect?
I would like to mark in the Firefly's glow. You know, the secret path of the Firefly. Mark to discover a location without using scene. I want to say that I have selected this location carefully, where I am going downhill and he is at a higher point, so that after he gets moving, he's going to have the opportunity to get over top of things. After a couple of bounces, you're going to actually, like, the ship will go downhill and then you will get airborne as a result of it. You're going to go
Nick, I'll roll 3 dice for 3 bounces, Nick. How's that?
All right. Brian, go ahead and mark your aspect. I like this. Andy, you are sense aiding this anyway.
Yes.
So I was going to give you some cut, but because of Brian's advantage, I'm not giving you a 4th advantage. I can't do that. That's not how this game works. You can only have up to 3 advantages, and you're using Manifold Journeyman for that. But I am not going to give you any cut now.
Excellent. So I can just fail on my own merits.
So roll iron brace +3. So 5 dice with no cut somehow.
You got this.
Yeah. 5,
6.
Oh my god.
2 5s, 2 4s, and a 6.
2 doubles.
6.
He doesn't bounce off the trees. He catapults off the trees.
Yeah,
first to the left, then to the right, then airborne, spreading both arms and sending the kite sail out and catching him in full glory. As he
snag on it for a split second, but it like springs him.
He loses a frying pan in the confusion, but it's a worthwhile sacrifice.
He loved that.
A Christy Yamaguchi triple Lutz.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Blades of Glory. Blades of Glory.
That's a figure skating reference. If anyone needs to clarify.
Yeah. And if you'd have rolled a 1, it'd have been a Tanya Harding. I know exactly what you're
Okay, so you both take off.
Poor Nancy.
Hey, Tanya's the one who did it. Who's the person who got attacked?
Nancy Kerrigan.
Nancy Kerrigan.
Okay, so I have a question for you all about this timer situation. So you have this golden bee that's walking across this missile, and it's going to press a button, and then it just detonates? Or is there another mechanical timer built in there?
Well, isn't Ollie the one who built the missile? We have to ask him.
Let's go back to the Ocean's 11 we were planning.
This is when we have the flashback scene.
Secondary, we're gonna have a flashback.
This is why I love Blades in the Dark.
Secondary countdown on this missile?
What? Sorry, I've been drinking. What's going on?
You
have not included me in this conversation until this point. So I have not been paying
I remember
attention.
you being here the whole night, Ollie.
I've been here. This is the first time y'all have talked to me in 4 hours.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
What if we
Ollie,
tie a string to the bee instead of have it push a button and have it walk away from the detonating area? When the string gets taut and it falls, then it pulls.
So much better. I love that. I love that idea.
This is a whole Rube Goldberg machine. It pulls a twig out of a thing that lets two contacts like slam together.
There's the entire game of mousetraps set up on top of it. There's an OK Go-esque music video.
That will fall.
This time
that's the music that the bee plays when it like gets wound up.
Yes.
This time we've added some guards to make sure that when the marble goes across, it doesn't fly out of the tub. And then we've added weights to the swimmer guy so that when he drops in, it does set off the trap on the way down.
Okay.
Perfect.
Trust me, I've played enough games of Mousetrap to know what
We've mousetrapped the shit out of this.
And by the way, Ollie, we've only been here for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy. What do you mean 4 hours? Come on, Ollie, get it together.
My watch, I guess it's been stuck. I forgot to reset it. Let me wind that.
Time's a little different when you're drinking.
I just forgot to wind it.
Camera pans in on his watch and the whole entire face is broken and shattered and it's never worked.
There's just no hour or minute on it.
He forgot to wind he says he forgot to wind his watch, but he just forgot how to wind his watch, and he's the one that was like helping us put the bomb together.
Yeah.
It's always 7 o'clock.
It's
always 7 o'clock. I love it.
Okay, so can you all hear that?
No.
Okay,
Attention.
Excellent. Anne-Marie is playing with Nova in the other room, and she's playing... This is the beauty of technology, babe. They couldn't hear a thing. Andy has seen Nova's new little chicken in a bikini toy that makes...
Yeah, you showed that to me, too.
It's very cute, and it's very loud, and I can hear it, and it is a little... let me show them.
Didn't hear a thing.
Yeah, they didn't hear. So this is Nova's one of her newest toys. It's a chicken.
She's gorgeous.
In a violet colored bikini. And so when we throw it for Nova, we say, go get your kini or go get Violet.
I love her. She's beautiful.
Okay. So where were we? Something serious? No way. Not us. Bon appetit. That's another bon appetit for Nova.
I wrote give Nova the chicken, but
and a treat.
Nova has a chicken, but now she has a treat. Up. There you go, baby.
Yay, puppy.
Good girl. Oh, she hit her
Those
head.
big eyes.
She hit her head on the way down.
Oh no.
Okay.
So sweet. We were asking Ollie if there was a secondary countdown once the timer or the button had been released. Since he was the one who built the rocket. Or missile or whatever.
I'll set something up. It'll be fine. No problem.
All right.
All right, we're gonna trust Ollie.
Might even use his watch as part of it.
Yeah, why
not? So from their perch up in the air, because y'all get going, Salt and Dill can see the glow swell as multiple tentacles of detritus and debris and shipwreckage of many ships come out, and in the pale light of the moon, you all can see these tentacles reach up and kind of cover over the piece of anima that you've left, and it gets consumed. You see what you think is like a body that is just kind of a large mass of various pieces. Again, it's very patchwork. There is a shining blue glow that is backlighting this. Actually, maybe there is no moonlight, but you can still see this because of the pale blue like light that is throughout everything, even the tentacles and especially the body. As it just reaches out and just grabs the piece of anima and pulls it under the surface of the sea. And
I think at this point
Yes.
that Amber wants to use her whisper.
Yes. Tell me about your whisper.
So it is Grove of Twisted Trees. And she wants to use this to amplify the explosion within Anima.
Okay.
And she's going to scream it.
Ooh, screaming a whisper. I am very excited for this. Shouting, I think, is the technical term in the rules. Shout. Let me keyword search for shouting whispers. Has anyone shouted a whisper yet in our game?
Not as far as I know.
I think people have said them or whispered them. This is our first shout. Force a change by shouting a whisper, creating a high impact twist that is totally out of your control. So, what is the intended effect here? You want to amplify the explosion, you said?
Yeah, I want to amplify the explosion of the verdancy exploding within Anima and make the trees like rip it apart and carry pieces of Anima as far away from one another as possible.
Okay. You shout this into the loud night. Let me get some night music going for us again.
Did I not have shouted this? I feel like shouting was the right course, but now I don't know.
Oh, this one? I
Yeah.
think that's the right idea.
So,
hey, I can hear the music now.
We see what happens.
The night is full of the sounds of insects and apes, primates, foxes, other nocturnal beasts, all chittering about, much quieter than during the day. The air is moving, but not very much. It's not stagnant. There is just a gentle light breeze of some slight movement. And on the hill of the sea, basically, like just this huge rolling hill of the sea behind you as the ship is booking it, you can see these tentacles rise up. You can see the pale blue glow even from the ship there, Amber. You can even see the body. To Salt, Anima is much larger than he was when he attacked his ship, which at this point I don't even remember the name of. It was so long ago. Have it in my notes here. Maybe I don't have it in my notes.
What?
Your former
Sorry, I was
ship.
distracted. Oh, in our discussion.
Wow, how do I not have it in my episode 1 notes?
Something to do with the tusk or tooth.
Oh, the Giant's Fang.
The Giant's Fang, yeah.
We when it attacked the Giant's Fang, it was large, and now it is just absolutely monstrous in size. These tentacles are huge. There are more of them. The body is absolutely enormous, and it just absolutely like overwhelms this tiny little missile device, and it is just gone. You shout this into the quiet night. You can hear like you all like up in the air can hear this shout. It is like amplified by the magical power, the arcanautic power, the space magic power that is whispers. And the words echo and linger in the night. There is a momentary pause from the animals as they are surprised by this just absolutely enormous sound. And then they resume. And the swelling of Anima on top of the missile kind of like comes down. Like everything just falls back into the ocean. There's a little bit of just like drop in the ocean where Anima came up. And then suddenly, and without warning, save for the tension that you all feel in the air, there is an enormous, like just massive swell at the top of this wave, this hill of the canopy, and it grows so tall, like a mountain, like a tree. It just moves up and up and up, and then begins to billow out and creates like a mountain peak effect. It almost rises up to how high up in the air you all are, and that swell like doubles, triples in height above the ship. Whatever you have done to Anima has, and whatever you set up clearly has detonated, has been set off. But your eyes are not on the data pad to see what has happened to Anima. What has dawned on you all is that this detonation of verdancy is working much better than you might have possibly expected.
Whoops.
And there is effectively a tsunami wave that is about
exactly what I expected
to overtake this area. So the verdancy basically begins to, it spikes up and up and up, and then begins to like curl out and fall in all directions and and push out as well from the base of that hill. So there is just an absolute enormous explosion that is going to ripple out in all directions from this area. And there is suddenly lots of shouting and screaming from the animals. Anything that can and does fly begins trying to take off or descend deep into the sea. And I don't know if from his vantage that Prickles can see this, but he may need to get the ship moving even faster if the ship is going to survive. Or
you need to overload the engine.
Or prepare the ship for submersion. You do not have long.
I don't think submersion is an option.
Submersion is not the idea. Something heavy is going to fall on top of us. Submersion is just going to crush us to the ground. We go fast. We go as fast as we can.
It's the way that the foliage is expanding. Is it going to push the ship, or is it going to fall down on top of the ship? What does it look like?
It probably won't fall on top, but it is swelling like a it is erupting like a volcano, and like an avalanche. So if it reaches the ship, it will overtake the ship. It will not, like the ship, the tentaculary is not going to be able to stay
impact
up.
the ship from the side.
Yes, it's not going to come up from underneath. It is coming across. So y'all need to haul ass.
Nick, whispers.
Yes.
What are the 3 options? Please tell me.
Yes. The options for whispers are on page 93. Not PDF page, but page at the bottom of the document 93. You may use a whisper to discover secret information related to their wording by whispering them under your breath. You may twist the narrative of the world in your favor by speaking them aloud, which allows you to create a twist related to the whisper. Or force a change by shouting them, creating a high impact twist that's completely out of your control.
Okay. I think it's going to be shout again.
Okay.
I have one final whisper, Nick. This whisper is called To Each Their Own. Prickles sees the sea of trees rising above. It's going to catch the kite sails. It's going to catch us, slam us forward, and take us out. And he centers himself and steps away from the wheel, yelling to the captain, "Take the wheel now and hold on." And he reaches out with his senses to the tentaculary to all of the bees in the hive that is our engine. And he shouts this whisper out. To each your own. This is your opportunity. This is your chance to survive. If we do not run as fast as we can, work as hard as we can, put forth our greatest efforts, we are doomed. So now is your choice. Run or die.
Okay. I like it. While I'm considering this, I would like to know what Salt and Dill's plan is. You are effectively helpless up in the air. You're being pulled along, and if the ship goes down, you're coming down too. Is your goal to just stay in the air and hope, pray, or are you trying to, like, do you have any other plan?
I didn't know, like, if it would apply or not, but I brought my sample of chronovoric moss with me. And it's in like a glass container, right? One of the vials or whatever we got from the lab. And I'm thinking, like, high stress moment. Salt doesn't know what Prickles is doing. Salt is going to take the area of the foliage that's going to impact the ship. He's going to chuck this chronovoric moss into it, hoping that some time shit will happen to cause it to make it go young again or something, or maybe go really old and die off. Like that, have that little section stop or slow down while the sides will probably keep going.
Okay.
So maybe the part that'll impact the ship will slow down enough to let the ship get away, and we'll still have to worry about what goes past us. But
okay. Let's come back to that. I like that idea.
I will just also say, if we were untethered, you Superman carry Dill across the sky, how strong is your
I'll just read what it says. Cloak of Sullen Stars. You master what hungers for you, removing one of many threats from the world. This is speaking to the Hungry Watchers that we haven't really engaged in. You're immune to all effects of the Hungry Stars Watcher, and gain the Rush and Soar styles in any area Starlight touches. Rush and Soar are styles of flying. Rush means you had to be moving in order to do it. And then Soar is like you can like fly around. Like it's not hover.
So
I don't
carry Dill in that style. Piggyback, hang onto your leg, like whatever,
Yeah.
The reason I ask is that if the ship is going down, I do have the floating ghost blade and could just like untether us.
Okay.
Oh, so you could like just disconnect and like fly above and off.
Yes. The other option is I just shoot my soul out of the gun into the distance and hope that I land somewhere safe.
Shoot it into the deck, becomes the ship.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Shoot it into the Taco Tuesday. All right. So those things are on the table. Anyways, Nick, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say we agreed early when I took this aspect that it's kind of limited to like how much effort is going into it, right? So I imagine if I'm carrying you, I won't be able to do that for very long, but I will be able to do it for a time.
You're not going to half-ass it. You're going to whole-ass this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Okay. This helps because it allows me to kind of move in through a nice order of operations. Amber.
Oh God. Fuck me. Okay.
Hey, so you're on the harpoon.
Sure am.
Does that feel like the right place to be now?
Sure doesn't. I'm gonna haul ass down to the engine and start overloading it and throwing yummy treats into it.
Yes. So The bees with Prickle's shout, which you also hear and also echoes across the sea for all to hear, at least in the immediate vicinity. The bees within the hive. So remember, there's a hive, and then there's like a beak that leads to the hive. So
Yes.
like the hive itself is a thing that eats, and there's bees working within it that produce the energy for the tentaculary to move.
Yes.
Don't overthink it.
Yes, don't. The bees begin buzzing like you've never heard them buzz before. They are bouncing off the walls in there.
I imagine that, like, when I go down into the engine, like, I can feel the vibration of their buzzing, like, in my like skull.
Not only that, you open the door, you see this red shirt Cosmer that is helping out and was like goosing the engine. He has taken off his mask.
Is it hot? It's hot in there.
It is hot as hell in here.
I thought you were saying
I thought you were asking if the red shirt was hot.
Let me roll for hotness.
Both would be true.
I rolled a 4. So
that's good
not
enough.
bad.
Out of 6? Yeah.
Not a 6, but not a 1,
Okay.
2, or a 3.
Pretty good. What's up, red shirt?
Hotness Cosmer, we rolled a 12 out of 18. So
I don't have like a data pad on me. I'm just gonna look at him and like say eggplant sploosh, and then like on my way to the beak to throw food into
Just
it.
audibly says it and then leaves.
Yeah,
and he's just sitting there like, what the fuck?
So he was like, I don't know what to do. I've never seen this before. You push him out of the way.
I'm gonna throw him out of the way. Absolutely.
Push.
I thought you were going to push him into the maw for a second.
It crossed my mind. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm picturing
That was the plan until Amber saw
how beautiful he was. And I was like, get your beautiful face out of here.
If the show was an anime, I think we get that internal monologue as you're running in slow motion. I could push this Cosmer in. That would certainly goose the engine. But no, I can't. I have to stick to my morals. The others, they'd never be able to look at me the same if they knew what happened. I'll push him out of the way.
They'll never know.
But as I push him, I'll run my hand across his chest and abs.
Definitely
I'm
cop
definitely
a feel,
gonna cop a feel.
100%. Yeah.
And we get that.
I'm saving your life.
And you start throwing other stuff in the engine, it sounds like, to goose it further.
I wanted to use my cocoa bean sample that I got from Malia for like to maybe to graft onto Prickles at some point, so that he could have he could be like his own cocoa plant. But I think that needs must, and I think that this is the time for action. So I think that she uses her cocoa bean sample, which who doesn't love chocolate? I think the tentaculary goes fucking bananas for it.
We just get that Little Shop of Horrors.
So I think, I'm going to use up my cocoa bean sample. I think that, she's going to use some of the pre-planned meals that we got from like the little pirate ship cove thing, and also some alcoholic drinks. And she's going to goose the fuck out of this engine.
Okay.
She wants to get away.
All right.
I also think that it's like really hot in there. I think she starts like shedding like armor and like her cloak, and like I think she's just like in her tank top and like underwear, because it's like it's unbearable in there.
Yes,
for no other reason than I've been like a sweaty woman in the heat of summer with no AC, and I know that struggle.
Yes.
You don't want anything touching you.
It is awful. Okay. Brian, the engine has been goosed, it's been geesed, and it's been cocoed. Can you roll me a 3d6 for the speed of the ship?
I hope it's fast.
And then
5, a 4, and a 1.
5, 4, 1. Let's see, base of speed of 1. You used a shout. I'm going to have you reroll the 1.
Okay. It's 5.
So we have a conflict with a twist, and you have an ability. You always know true north and ignore cut on movement-related actions caused by adverse seas or damage to your ship. Conflicts are now rated as triumphs. This is certainly an adverse of the sea and a movement-related action. But it is not related to damage to your ship. But that doesn't matter. This is
It does
fine.
say adverse seas or damage to your ship.
This is a triumph with a twist. I'm going to reveal a track in our notes section. You'll note that I created a shitload of tracks there related to anima and potential conflict with anima. Disregard all of those tracks.
Okay.
We took the nuclear option.
You did.
Yeah.
You took the nuclear option. Escape the Bloom Tide is the new track. This was a success with a twist. I'm going to say that this is a 5-step track. You have cleared... No, this is a 3-step track, and you've cleared 1 step.
Okay.
What is your twist? Other players, suggestions on twists related to goosing the engine. I also need to determine what the uncontrolled effect is of this shouted whisper. To each their own. Oh, I know exactly what's happening.
There's a combination of the two, which is, you said this is a bloom tide, so there's flowers blooming and stuff. Like,
that's just the colloquial term for a sudden explosion of growth. This is
okay.
This is like that's the only term you've ever heard when suddenly there's just kind of like a Krezerin fueled growth that is hazardous. This is well beyond that. There has never been anything like this other than when the verdancy first happened.
Oh, fuck.
This is a Bloom Nami then.
Yeah, this is a Bloom Nami.
Because I didn't know if like there could be like suddenly more bees coming from the other blooms, maybe as the tide moves, like getting into the ship, possibly causing some future conflict for the engine, or adding more bees to it. Who knows? I mean, I don't know.
Making a bigger engine for the ship.
Yeah. The engine starts to bleed out of its space. The hive is growing throughout the ship.
Well, I mean, the tentaculary hive probably has an ecosystem within it where the bees inside are breeding and creating new generations of bees that they then.
So maybe some bees get out. I don't know. Maybe this.
Well, I think the to each their own. What normally is a hive with a sole purpose and a hive mind. Suddenly the bees are making decisions for themselves, and there are many that are escaping through the maw of the ship, that mouth. So there is this eruption of speed as everyone is like fueled with the purpose of your shout, but then suddenly some bees are like deciding, no, this is too much. I'm going to work myself to death.
I dissent,
and there are bees leaving. So your speed, while insane, is not going to last.
We have a labor problem now.
You have a labor problem. Now, that doesn't change the fact that your twist can say, oh, well, a bunch of larva bees are now hatching. Like, if that's what you want to suggest. Because, like, Andy, you said the hive is growing, and that's what I chose to hear. So if that's what you meant.
So the way I read that is we have a labor problem. We've got an influx of speed that's going to die down, but our young larva will eventually, as long as the ship survives, replace the workers that have gone. So we don't have permanent damage to our ship, but we have temporary damage about to show up.
Right.
Correct. Yes. But again, that's if that's what the players are suggesting as the twist, is the hive is accelerating in its generational cycle. For
Makes
lack of
thematic
a better,
sense for what we're doing.
I do like it. Is that what you were suggesting, Andy? Or in line with what you were
I
suggesting?
wasn't making a specific suggestion. I just thought plant growth could head towards bee problems. So I like the sound of this.
So the speed with which we're traveling, and since we are like we have tentacles and we can climb up things if we need to, where's the nearest iron root tree that we can like latch ourselves onto? Like, can we climb up it and like tether ourselves to something to try and ride out the wave? Or like
that is an interesting question.
Oh boy.
That I did not hear discussed before.
Sure
and
wasn't.
Was not mentioned when Brian went, "Oh, I can check a box and determine where we are."
Oh, can we do that?
He can, but only once per scene, and he already did it.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Rude.
So rude.
This is great, guys.
So how far away, like from the tsunami, like how are we're making good speed to like outrun it, but we know that it will catch up with us.
Correct.
So at the point that it catches up with us, we need to be up somewhere high. We need to be tethered to something.
Or far enough away.
Or far enough away.
Yes. So let's deal with this one step at a time. We still need to resolve the twist.
Right.
So are you using the twist to resolve your your long-term bee problem, I guess, is my question. With
I feel like it would make sense.
Like, okay, Andy made the suggestion. Brian, this was your role. Do you accept?
Yeah.
I accept.
Great. The hive erupts in evolution and growth and propagation. There are bees fleeing. Shannon, you're down in the boiler room in your skivvies with Red Shirt McRedson. Erickson? Redson? Is there a son of Redson?
Sure.
Eric Erickson.
Aridson. Handsomson. And you both are like, oh no, the bees, and you're like trying to like stop them, and then you look in the maw and there's like, oh look, the beauty of life, there's more bees hatching, we'll be okay. And so the engine, while it is slowing down, is not gonna bottom out as more and more bees decide to leave, thanks to Prickle's shout. Yes.
Go ahead, sorry.
So you all have achieved one tick of this escape the bloom tide track. As the bloom tide, as the ship pulls away from the bloom tide, you up in the air see that happening, and it's great. But the ship isn't as stops accelerating. The bloom tide is, and I think now is a good time for Travis to drop his chronovoric moss.
Yeah.
Look at how delighted you are right now. I'm terrified. You have this.
Yeah, you should be. I'm delighted. So let me
a bit of random chance.
Yeah, this is going to be a pure random chance. I don't think you're going to.
I was just gonna say I like that he'd be making this choice because no one's signaling us, so we just see a cloud of bees floating around, leaving the ship,
fleeing
from up above, and the ship appearing.
I don't think you see these bees leaving. I think they're so small and so few and far between in the dark, mind you. I don't think there's an explanation. I think there's just the ship is getting away. Great.
The ship had a burst of speed, and it looks like it's kind of over.
It's puttering out a little bit. We got to do something, and you've got that moss. Drop that moss. roll me 1d6. Again, the broken arrow aspect of chronovoric moss. When a character, or anything for that matter, I'm saying, comes into contact with a patch of chronovoric moss, the Firefly, I am delegating this to you, rolls a d6. The result determines the narrative effect its feeding process will have, though the actual mechanical effects are up to the Firefly, though likely to include damage, the loss or gain of resources, and unusual recursive injuries. These effects are temporary, by default anyway.
Oh, God.
So,
is there a chance of us pulling some sort of skill roll into this? Or, because I'm looking at my reading a passage, I got that 1d6 advantage. We use that to maybe roll 2 dice on this, and then
so
increase the chance that the result is your paper.
Your prophetic reading relates to the fox and the hounda, which I took to be
anima,
literal, related to Vulpa. Vulpa, as the four of you know, was someone I was keeping in my back pocket as an ex deus machina mechanic, where at any point during this final encounter you could say, I need help here, or we need to counteract this negative effect, or hey, I need a nudge here. And Vulpa would show up and help. So and and you using that aspect revealed to you that I was going to, there was a cost associated with that, and it was going to harm Vulpa. You have a benefit that will help if you choose to act in rescuing Vulpa when she suffers her consequences for helping you.
Got it.
Gotcha.
I will choose to at this moment reveal to you that moving alongside your ship, also trying to escape the bloom tide, there is a tiny, tiny, tiny little craft. It is someone you would recognize as a human, an ardent, riding the waves on a small personal vehicle. He is not only the youngest word bearer in living history, but offers linguistic services for a nominal fee. It is Sherman, the young word bearer, and on the back of his personal craft is Vulpa.
All right. Let's see what this moss does here.
Yeah, give me 1d6.
Okay, I rolled a 5. What does a 5 do?
A 5. So this is a table related to when it touches people. Traits and companions are healed, or gear is suddenly good as new. I'm going to choose to interpret this as the Krezerin is in balance. The CRE Saberine is in balance. You drop this, the jar shatters, the moss touches the anima. You see, maybe in the glow of the light, maybe you don't, because again, it's nighttime, but the camera will at least see that the moss rapidly expands and covers an area of this effectively avalanche, this tsunami. Tsunami. And
Tsunami.
It's not a tsunami, it's a right now nami.
It's a right now nami. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
And the sea subsides in that area, and it causes this kind of like tangle as there's a patch that stops expanding quickly. And the stuff on the side kind of like falls over itself and because this is not a liquid, this is physical plant material, begins to kind of tangle and wrap up in itself. That buys the ship some time. I am checking the second box of Escape the Bloom Tide.
You need like a barrier reef.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
If we survive this, I'll be able to point out to this thing and say, that landmark, I did that.
Amber, you have not acted yet.
No.
What do you got? What are you doing? Oh, no, you're in the engine. I'm so sorry.
I'm in the
Dill
engine,
has not
but
acted.
Dill,
Yeah.
you
Dill
have
needs
not
to-
acted. Dill, what are you doing?
So the wave below us looks like it's stabilized.
It tangled up with itself, but then other growth behind it has overtaken that knot and is
okay.
continuing. So the ship is not
Okay.
out of the woods yet, so to speak.
That's funny. Keep going, Andy.
But we're not in any immediate danger at this.
I mean, if it catches up to
Yeah,
you,
we
you
are.
all will die. You have not escaped the bloom tide yet.
just trying to figure out what I
3
can do from up here.
we need to like start cranking them in.
I mean, everyone look at your resources, and if you have an idea, throw it out there.
I might, if we need to get back onto the ship fast, I might use the Phantom Blade to cut our tethers and just have you like soar us straight down rather than waiting to be reeled in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could
we can do
point
that.
out a vantage point for safety for us to potentially escape this, or a big rock or something to get behind.
Oh, can I see
But
any
you are
landscape
really
around?
high
I
in
thought
the
we
air.
needed to. Yeah.
Give
Did I?
me-
Can I see the dirty straw in the distance?
Give me a sharps sense.
I don't have sharps.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. I always get you and Prickles mixed up. Give me Tide's sense. I guess that's 2d6.
Two? Yep.
Salt, you can also give me a similar roll. Maybe instinct sense.
Instinct, sense, intuition,
No,
reaction.
I don't think
what's
any of
praised?
your edges really help here. Well, maybe. Yeah, instinct is fine.
Right.
Yeah, and
I
then
getting
my sense is 3.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Andy.
It shows the little hand now.
Yeah, we can see your
Yeah.
hand. And it's moving back and forth as you're toggling your little switch there.
All right.
Like a weirdo. That's a 1 and
5
a
and 1.
5.
1 and a 5. Nice.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm
So
rolling 4. A 6, 2 4s, and a 1.
Okay.
What kind of twist?
There is a small landmass nearby. It's a skyscraper. A chunk of a skyscraper that's been lifted up by the sea. You could take refuge there and expect
It's a building floating on branches.
Yeah. The trees lift up pieces of old earth all the time in various sizes, and there is one big enough that you suspect it could offer enough cover.
Is there anyone down on the deck who can watch us if we signal this with the light?
Probably.
Okay.
The captain is right there with Prickles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wondering how she's the captain and the person sailing the ship is her first mate that should be keeping an eye out.
Okay, so I only have a 1 in signal, so I'll do this in Neanderthal poetry game speech.
Perfect.
Land safe from wave. What direction is it, Nick? Northwest.
They're all one syllable, so
Yeah,
there isn't an
I think we can
inconvenient one I
signal
can
like
give
a
you.
bearing or a heading to Prickles. Yeah, like
A
that
compass
way,
heading, okay.
and then
All right.
he won't know what we're talking about, maybe, but he knows we're telling him to go that way, and we have a pretty good vantage. So,
Boom.
Okay. You just got to get there before the wave reaches you,
Yeah.
and you'll be.
Okay.
Are
You
we
just
out of
got
the
to get
woods?
there.
Are we out of the woods? Are we in
Wait.
the clear? Are we in the? I'm looking at Anne Marie as I sing this because she's obsessed with Taylor Swift.
We are not out of the woods. We are not out of the woods.
Okay. So that is going to give an advantage on the next navigation or movement based roll for the ship, because you have a specific direction, you know where to go for safety. Now, the problem, the unfortunate one. Wait, was there a 6 in there?
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
Okay. Okay. Never mind. There is an opening for the ship to take refuge on the bottom floor. The ship would be able to crawl into the building. Okay.
And were you gonna
There's a twist, I think.
Cut the rope so we can fly, or is that gonna be like our action the next round?
Yeah, I mean, we got to get down fast, right? So yeah, I'll go ahead and cut the ropes, and we'll soar down.
Okay.
Okay.
All
right, Nick, if you want us to have a roll associated with that, we can do. That can be like our thing next round.
Salt is practiced enough in this that there is no risk. Dill, you have not done this.
Well, I'm just hanging on to him.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend. I don't have the journeyman right now in my ear, so
all right.
I'm just gonna like let go of my kite, hold on to Salt, and
I think narratively or mechanically, I'm not gonna incur a penalty or a check. I think narratively, Salt, you can handle this. It is pushing your abilities to land not only you, which would be no problem, but also landing another very heavy individual. I think you land fine, or maybe there's like a little bit of a stumble.
You can drop me on deck a little bit.
I think Dill might suffer like some damage on the fall, or it's not graceful whatsoever.
If I get back, but your body cracks and splits, Meyer, that I just healed.
No. But I think I would be remiss in the storytelling of this if it wasn't like, hey, this is like the next step in the art of flying for Salt. This can't be just totally smooth without a roll, but I want to keep moving.
I'll roll an iron brace for like cannonballing into the deck of the ship if you want me to.
It's fine. There's some scuffs. There's some scratches. We're moving on.
You don't want me to roll it?
No, I don't. So all that's left is like getting there. You have your heading, Prickles. You can kind of faintly see the dark silhouette of the building in the dark night sky. The only reason you can really make it out is because there is a backlighting of stars and a void, a vacancy of stars where the building is in your heading. I'm gonna need another roll from you on behalf of the ship, a speed roll. This time it is going to be a 2.
2 dice.
2 dice. Unless Shannon, do you have anything else to goose the engines with?
Hottie McRedshirt, just saying.
We have what is it?
Hottie McRedshirt.
Is what he said. I really wanted to see him naked. I have.
Can you convince him that his shirt is the only thing that you could feed to the engine right now?
I think I could.
A shirt is not going to help.
I mean, it helps me.
He doesn't need to know that.
I don't think you have anything.
No, what about the symbiote scarf that we stole from?
That is no.
Damn.
That's not food.
That is synthetic fiber and metal.
What about the chitinous membrane from the termites? Is that
I have my futuristic ration still, just minus the garlic powder.
Sure, those can be in there.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna take the red shirt from the handsome man, and I'm gonna say, "Give me that shirt." I'm gonna smear it in honey and put some of the futuristic rations on the shirt, and I'm gonna feed it to the.
And your pants too.
Yeah.
All right, you goose the engines. All right, give me 3d6 there, Brian.
Porn parody writes itself, you know.
It sure does. And I'm deleting chitinous membrane. Or no, you aren't using that. You were using.
I'll delete futuristic ration.
Thank you.
We have a 1, a 3, and
a 6. Okay.
Nice.
The engines are sufficiently goosed. All of the bees in the hive of the tentaculary, whether they are the old guard or the very newly hatched guard, are motivated by the sudden introduction of more food, a food they've never tried before. Even though it's hard to pick, they are like, okay, we know the assignment, boss, we got it. And they provide just enough energy to keep the tentaculary. Again, we saw the tentaculary on a really windy day where the kite sails were pulling it. But today, those kites were dragging, but they've recently been cut. And the tentaculary is still kind of skipping and bounding across the ocean. And it makes its way, as the wave follows right behind it, it makes its way into that giant concrete and steel building as the wave slams into it. Now, the tentaculary moves into the building and continues. You, Prickles, are finding you need to, like, spin the wheel or whatever navigational control you have to get it to, like, move up, like, a strafe to a staircase, move up to the next floor, turn around a corner, make sure it's not slamming into walls, and that the explosion of growth that is still following inside the building doesn't quite reach it, but it doesn't take terribly long. It takes but a few quick, nice paced maneuvers. I might actually right now have you make a tilt roll.
Sure.
This is going to be, the ship has 3 tilts, but the engines have been goosed, so roll me 4d6. I just want to see, is the ship damaged at this moment?
Unless somebody else wants to roll for the ship, because I've rolled a lot lately.
Well, you're the one at the helm. This is your roll.
We have 6-6-2-1.
All right, that is plenty. The ship is responsive. The tentaculary is on it. You are able to navigate the ship through a sudden kind of obstacle course inside this building, as there is a bit of plant growth following quickly behind you, and you get to a safe spot. The camera from the outside of the building just sees the building being besieged by this wave of explosive growth. The building is tilting and moving. It might sink a little bit, but eventually the wave kind of like levels out and the sea level drops down as that explosion of growth disperses itself and finds balance. A couple floors of this building are now completely submerged in the new sea level of this immediate area, but you're able to navigate the tentaculary up to a couple more floors, just walking around on the inside, and get to the new sea level, where this immediate spot is. And you can take a breath of relief.
We're alive.
You're alive, and the threat has passed.
Oh, I want to find the data pad.
You're not making out with Hottie McAwesome Sauce over here?
He's in my bunk. He can wait. This is so much more important.
He's only a 4, Nick. Come on.
He is only a 4 out of 6. It's true.
Yeah, come on.
Yes, you find the data pad, and there's a lot of notifications, but the first and foremost app you have open is the map. The map.
Yeah.
Where is Anima? The pieces of Anima, where are they? They're gone. They're not on the map.
Nice.
Which is surprising, because there's lots of pieces of the Anima by their lonesome on the map. You go back through, you look through the historic data, you can kind of do an instant replay version of this, and you see that the pieces of anima, the beast and the one that you have had this whole time, join together. Suddenly there's a ginormous geographic growth of the sea, and those pieces spread out and then begin to descend and disappear.
Ah, awesome.
And they are quite far apart.
Good. Yay, we did
actually, hang on. Let me amend that, because I think that this would be more satisfying and more concrete as a job well done. One of the pieces flows out on the wave, far, far away from where the other piece descends, and disappears.
Awesome.
The two pieces of anima have moved very far apart from one another, and the piece of anima that you can see remains in place and does not move.
We did it. I'm going to scream to everybody on ship, we did it, and let them know, like, anima has been blown apart. The pieces they're gone.
And then in your notifications, once you've checked this, is holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Are you okay? All I see are eruption emoji, volcano emoji, volcano emoji.
Perfect.
And then like
Amber only
emoji over and
interprets that
over,
one
or
way.
vine emoji over and over.
Sorry, that was Travis. What was that?
Or volcano emoji and then vine emoji over and over.
Yes, exactly. Andy, what did you say?
Oh, I was saying Amber only interprets an eruption emoji in one way.
Yes. Iota is having an eruptive night in celebration.
Me too, soon, hopefully.
Whoa, indeed. Somehow, the only victims of this entire encounter are a toy, a missile, and some clothes.
And we lost a couple of bee friends.
And bees.
But gained some new ones in return.
They flew away. They probably died, but they flew away. That was their choice. To each their own.
Exactly.
Or maybe they start their own hive somewhere else. We don't know.
They went off to become their own queens.
As you all navigate around the building and find your way up a couple floors, you run into Vulpa and Sherman.
Hey guys!
Hey! I've been looking for you all. I hear you're the ones that have been hunting anima. Looks like you did it. Great job!
Wow, you're way too peppy. You got to take it down a notch, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. My girlfriend says I have a lot of energy. What can you do?
Girlfriend?
Yeah.
Is this Vulpa talking or Sherman?
Yes. In front of you is a large black woman that's been riding
That's so weird.
in front of a very small white
you.
boy on a ski-doo.
I'm gonna be shitty. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. Okay. Because I've been flirting with Iota this whole time. I'm gonna be like, that's weird. She didn't mention you. No, I'm not gonna do that.
I mean,
I'll be like,
are you still in your underwear?
Yeah, obviously. There was no time to change. So no, I'm gonna hand Vulpa the data pad and be like, I would like this back when you are done, but please tell your girlfriend that you're alive.
Oh my god. Thank you. I was hoping someone might find this on my satellite. So you all found it.
Yeah, we took a couple.
Tried to pull the lever, but it was stuck. So
you try. Okay.
I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm joking.
We didn't really, but
okay.
We didn't pull the lever, but we did text your girlfriend a lot of inappropriate emojis.
That's fair. That was me.
Yeah, I can see that. A lot. A lot. Yes, a lot of.
Oh wait, that was just today.
Yeah.
I can't begin to thank you all enough. You all did a great job. I thought I was gonna have to deal with it on the back of Sherman. You were amazing, honey. You're the best. Thank you.
You would have died.
Most certainly, but we didn't.
I love Salt.
I tuned up his little vehicle before we left. I figured something like this might happen. So,
I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't expect that, and
is this all is this all part of the outside of my ship?
Yeah, I wanted to tell you we took a couple more things. I don't think your ship is there anymore. I think it's very possible
we
that
saved pieces of your ship for you, but we couldn't save the whole thing.
Right.
Anima did it. We just salvaged the pieces. Anima broke it.
She reaches into a pocket and pulls out basically like a car key. And she presses a chirp chirp. And about 2 minutes later, her satellite just hovers across the sea and pulls up right in front of y'all.
That would have been so handy to have, Bulba.
Not really space worthy anymore.
Interesting. Maybe we can get your very attractive girlfriend down here to help you fix it up.
What do you know about my girlfriend?
She's a lovely person, and we have some very interesting, stimulating conversations. That's all I'm going to say.
What?
She reminds me of a car. Also, what's a car?
Her help was invaluable. We would have
been dead without Iota. 100%. Iota's the best.
Well, I better check in with her and chat with her about returning to orbit. So, what now for the rest of you?
First thing I'm doing is checking in with Dill, because he has a lot of anchored souls to him, and we've been kind of feeling that these anchored souls in some way related to Anima, which we just blew up. Is he still doing okay?
Everything is working as normal.
I think
when you
Oh no, go ahead.
When you say you're planning on going back to orbit?
Yeah, that's right. You're a you're a Cosmer.
Yes. You've been manipulating us.
Oh,
Did you stop?
Iota told you about that, huh?
Did you stop?
Would you stop, please?
Could you stop, please?
Could you stop?
Look,
Could
we
you just not?
have like a symbiotic relationship. There's a shorthand we have, a culturally informed.
Let me
shorthand.
put it this way. Either you, instead of making it behind a veil of false stars, drones, just be overt. Tell my people what's going on, that it's you. Or if you don't do that, stop altogether. If neither of those options work for you, I will stop you from doing it. You're toying with my culture and their beliefs.
Look, you all live in a really dangerous and scary place, and we're just trying to help. There is a lot of cultural history that we are trying not to disrupt. A culture of trust in the stars, and we thought, my predecessors thought, Iota thought, long ago, it would be best not to disrupt your people's beliefs and for them to follow what they felt was sacred and for us to communicate through that sacred medium.
And
but I'm here.
You didn't think it fair to have that conversation? Let us be a part of that conversation? Let us choose?
We were afraid of rejection. It sounds like you are on board with working with us and know the truth. So how about you and I talk with Iota about making you a part of the Cosmerius? How would that sound? We would love to work with you, especially given the bond we've built through this.
I like that. I know you wanted to help. The only thing I have the problem with is the pretense. So I think we should bring at least one of the elders, Elder Cosmerius, into the conversation. Let them know what's been happening, so he can help us make that decision. Do we bring this to all the people, or do we go on as it has been?
I think this is a great opportunity. What's your name?
Exaltair.
Exaltair. I'm Volpa. Pleasure to work with you.
Pleasure meeting you.
And she really jovially and forcefully reaches out a hand. Like a put her there.
I'll shake her hand, but I'll shake it on the wrong side.
I love that. Yep.
She has a brief moment of hesitation and goes with it.
Nice.
I'm joking, and I'll shake it on the right side.
Well,
I think we need to have a conversation with Volpa about helping the people of this world. Taking a greater having a greater presence in it, helping us to set up reliable forms of communication, helping to finding ways to help us to deal with, the Leviathan more consistently, making sure that there aren't food shortages, making sure that the people here are safe, because the way that we're living is very not safe.
It's Amber? Is that what you're going by now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you and I, keep the data pad. Iota and I will be in touch once I have my way back up to orbit, and we'll arrange a meeting. We'll talk about it. There's
feels like a brush off.
There's a much bigger world, and there's a lot of galactic politics that we need to catch you up on. There's just a lot going on that complicates that. I want to inform you
I'm a war
about
hero, and I feel like I'm in your history books. So I think maybe I have a little more.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were gonna play that card.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
Because
and this is the attitude you're gonna get. Volpa and definitely Iota will extend the opportunity to chat. Iota will invite you to dinner on the satellite to join Iota,
she will.
or I join Volpa in coming up to join them. Volpa is very displeased about this.
Good. She should be. She hasn't been here the whole time. We went searching for her dumbass. Had to do this by ourselves. Anyway.
She's been busy riding on a Vespa behind a kid all around.
Yeah. She's been riding a Vespa. Having a great time.
Captain Soliday is ruffling the hair of Sherman. And she's going to, like, with hand behind him, like kind of a parental or mentor figure, more mentor figure, is going to approach you, Prickles. Well, so you and your companions have used the Taco Tuesday to achieve your goal. Are you all sticking around? Are you returning as first mate, or are you going to continue on as interim captain? And she like needles at you playfully, not in like an accusatory way. What's next for Captain Prickles?
Prickles completely doesn't get the jab at all. And it goes through one cactus leaf and out the other. And then Prickles says, well, I need to start charting this area immediately. Last time the verdancy exploded from anima, I was created. There'll be new life out here. Possibly new species.
Mm.
I haven't had a direction before. I've been wandering aimlessly until I joined this crew. And now I think I have one. To make sure that others created like me do not wander aimlessly. I have a place and a purpose.
Well, with the news that Anima's been killed, there will surely be a payoff, and especially high pay for new information on the new topography, the new bestiary, the new botany. Absolutely. Back to our same old, huh? Finally.
If you say so, Captain. He'll go off to the map room and start writing away.
Excellent. And I think we will also get, we'll get Ollie Oxenfree meeting up with Dill. Well, given the connection we had with Anima, I figured something would change, but I don't feel any different. How about you?
No different. Just maybe carrying the weight of these stowaways a little bit more.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with all that? I don't mind having some extra little bits and bobs lying around, but most of mine don't talk to me. He gestures at the pile of his like hands and arms and shit.
I think we got to find a home for him. Maybe there's a place where they can all live and make their own bodies again. Need to find some new anchors and some junk and help them rebuild.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Are we in the office build? Are we in the building, or are we in the on the ship?
Wherever. Where do you think? Like, are you looking out or on one of the?
What's the message carrier kid's name?
Sherman.
Does his jet ski carry two?
Apparently.
I think if they're not looking, Ollie and Dill might just steal it and go and go start a little new anchored colony somewhere.
Oh. Whoa. Anchored colony. Hold up. I
heard about a tower full of dead bodies nearby.
That sounds not my cup of tea.
I mean, they don't need the heat to survive, so like,
Yeah.
I look.
Oh.
I love being on a ship every now and then, but hanging out with others, what do the Arden call it? A lone wolf? I got my own jam.
All right, Ollie. Well, it's been a pleasure. But could you distract everybody for me? I'm going to take this kid's watercraft.
I thought you guys already went off on your jet ski. I just imagined
shooting
Ollie off the jet ski while you're in motion.
He leans in. What kid? What watercraft? I was
Exactly.
out scavenging. We didn't have this conversation.
Exactly. Thank you.
Good luck, Dill.
Good luck,
It was
Ollie.
fun traveling with you.
It was something. I promise. I only was intending to sacrifice you for a little bit.
Wait, what? And I think,
And
I think you rev the engine right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that
Oh,
is
that's so
where
fucking
we are
funny.
going to leave the crew of the Taco Tuesday and Dill.
Bye, Dill.
The crew has lost their chef. They're all going to starve and die, and that is a fitting end for these adventures.
We deserve it.
That is
Maybe
the...
Sherman, who's now stuck on their ship, he can cook for them.
yeah. He's probably used to making do with what he can. Fair enough. All right. Well, that is it for season 3 of Fable Table. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. Especially if you chose to tune in live with us. We really appreciate the support. If you chose to watch on YouTube, definitely let us know in the comments what you thought of the season and our finale. Come hang out, in the Discord and let you know what you thought. And we will see you in the future for future seasons of Fable Table. Any shout outs or plugs before we go? Brian, do you have any upcoming races or other things going on of that nature?
Yep. In February starts Winter League. Dragon.
Hang on.
Back racing
Can you
again.
take that microphone? Put it right in front of your pie hole.
In February starts Winter League for Dragon Warrior Randomized. Back to racing again. With crazy different flags. 5 different people have 3 people.
man. I'm so sorry.
It's cutting out.
Good
So
God.
Yeah.
Why the hell does this cut out when nobody else talks?
Brian,
It doesn't make any
Brian.
sense. Yeah.
Don't talk up here. Talk right here.
Like over here on this side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Right here.
That was great.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just twist it so that red light is pointing at you.
That's so weird. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, February, I start racing again. Until then, speed runs in January. Dragon Warrior 3 for the NES and God damn it.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
You have such a good first half, and then you're like,
God.
what?
And then the second half cuts out.
Every time I'm like, wow, Brian's voice is so sexy and soporific, and then it cuts out, and I'm like, well, it's dead.
It was. Anyway, I'll be racing. Moving on.
Yes, moving on. Shannon, do you like to be found on the internet?
I do not want to be found.
Great.
Thank
Travis, do you like to be found on the internet?
I don't generally do any streaming or anything like that, other than occasionally when my buddy Nick asks. Just want to say that thanks for including me on your shortlist to another campaign. And this was a blast.
In an alternate reality, Travis and I have a Hunter x Hunter appreciation vodcast that we stream every week. And in that alternate reality, you can tune in and listen to that.
Perfect.
Andy,
if you're living on Earth number 671 in Universe B, tune in.
Exactly. Andy, where can you be found or not?
You can find my art on Kara and other art and other bullshit on Instagram at Andrew Gahutzimer, and I will not spell that for you, so you can find it or not. And you can also find me fervently resisting watching more Hunter x Hunter just to annoy Nick.
Every time Andy and I hang out in person, I'm like, have you watched more? Here's why Hunter x Hunter's the best and why I think it's the greatest of all time. And Andy's like, so I can't have an opinion of my own? And I fervently say, no, you may not. You must have my opinion.
Jesus.
It's fair.
I will at some point soon reign in the new year with a stream of Shannon, what's it called?
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Dungeon Crawler Carl, where I will be reading the first 2 chapters and reflecting on it. I'll probably invite Shannon to join me on that so she can tell me about how it's the best.
It's so fucking good. It's like it's one of the best series that I've read. And the thing is I can't stress enough, we should be listening to the audiobook in tandem with it, because Jeff Hayes is the narrator and he is fantastic. He like takes it to another level.
I may have seen a post on Reddit where someone said that there was a live action Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Very possibly. That's in the talks for right now. There's also an animated series that they've been pitching that is possibly being picked up.
Jeff Hayes has also narrated Dracula and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, just to give you context.
Ooh. Wow.
I mean, and you know, he's wonderful. He does a very convincing female voice as well. Several of them in the book. They're wonderful.
I can't wait to listen to it after I just butcher the reading.
The real treat is listening to him do the voice of the AI, who is Daddy. He gives daddy vibes, and we love him.
I just brought up the Dungeon Crawler Carl audiobook on Libby for the Seattle Public Library. 6 copies in use. 562 people waiting.
It's that good. I
can't
express to you how good it is.
Wow.
94 people waiting per copy. So
just say, I'm just putting it out there. It's worth it just to buy the audiobook. I don't even know how I would have interpreted some of the voices if not for the audiobook. Honestly, it's way better.
I might have brought this up last week, but Shannon made a lengthy Instagram reel or whatever they're called about Dungeon Crawler Carl to her entire viewership about how they need to be, but is notable and impressed upon them that they need to be reading this. So join me in reading the first 2 chapters and maybe more in the future. Finally, you may at some point in the future see Brian, Andy, and I playing Dungeons and Dragons with our friend John Dungeon Master over on his channel or this channel. I don't know what that's going to look like in the future. There may or may not be plans. I can neither confirm nor deny, but I might be looking forward to that. And I might also be looking forward to future seasons of this show. So definitely subscribe and smash that like button. Andy, your final comment before we head out for the night.
How many more episodes of Hunter x Hunter do I have to watch before you will read more Perdido Street Station?
What just happened in the last episode you watched?
It just got out of the tower with the fight very early. I'm like episode 5 or whatever. Like it's
so you've got about 95 to go.
I'll bring it up on I have to watch 95 more episodes before you will read one more chapter of Perdido Street Station.
When you see an item on screen called Blue Planet, that's when you can stop.
Like the last
and Travis knows what I'm talking about. That is exactly where I want you to stop before the best arc, because we might be playing a Hunter x Hunter role-playing hack that I am creating as we speak.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I don't want you to get too far in to Nen power, Andy. And I know you have no idea what the fuck those 2 words mean.
If you find success streaming while listening to the audiobook, Perdido Street is another good candidate for that format. So because John Lee is amazing.
Last thing,
plug another narrator,
I will say on air, Andy,
we don't have to keep.
I'm actually having a hard time with how graphic thinking about Reformed, is that what they're called? Unmade? Remade. Just thinking about them makes me queasy, honestly.
Okay.
So
it's a lot of body horror.
I'm having a hard time with the body horror of that franchise, but it is good writing. So we'll see about my future.
We'll switch you to Kraken, which has a lot less body horror, but still all the same things and the same narrator and the same author. So
excellent. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to my players for staying up incredibly late. Brian, I overheard you talking to your family about being done an hour and 20 minutes ago. Get out of here, my friend.
Oh, no worries, man. I'm good.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
Nick.
night. Bye-bye.
Well done.
Everybody.
Woo!